There are so many you could have picked. So many. Do you realize that it's Siobhan Fahey's birthday today?
I did not.
Bananarama?
We could have
Really?
used a Bananarama.
I don't
sure.
think so. Johnny Fingers' birthday today.
Oh,
Boomtown Rats.
yeah.
And of course, Pat Mastelotto, drummer for not only Mr. but King Crimson, both. That's a pick.
Wait a minute. He went from King Crimson to Mr.
Or Mr. to King Crimson.
No,
I'm not sure which.
I'm pretty sure it was the other way.
Or is it's Don Powell's birthday. Slade.
Oh, no, I could have played some Slade.
I like some Slade.
Danny Hutton. You know, come on.
I do?
Timothy Hutton's brother?
Three Dog Night.
Oh.
No.
Jose Feliciano. Why was Jose Feliciano ever a thing?
I lobbied for Jose Feliciano.
Why?
Because
Light my fire, light my fire, light my fire. Light my fire, light my fire.
Because of
Because
Fargo.
he sucks?
No, because of Fargo.
What did they do? What did he?
He was in Fargo.
What?
Oh, he was, yeah.
He was in it?
They were.
Yes, they were at a concert.
Steve Buscemi and the other
don't
guy,
remember
Peter
that.
Stormare, was
Yeah.
sitting in a hotel
Yeah,
ballroom or something watching Jose
You
Feliciano.
don't remember? It was great.
No, I don't. Light my fire, light my fire, light my fire. Terrible. But of course,
Well,
hit it.
I could have just played an Aerosmith song
Right, because
on this day is
Yes.
Joe Perry's birthday. But I decided I'd play at least
A little something different.
a better one. I mean, it is an Aerosmith song, and he does play guitar on it. So
yes.
It's a perfectly fine selection.
It's
It
no.
was.
It's a 14-year-old girl in Bill that likes
I really-
Bananarama.
No,
No?
I really don't.
Really?
Oh, well, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, let me just get right to it here.
Yeah, okay.
This is a remix. Bill was dancing just a little bit.
A little bit. All right, so, hey. So it seems like it was a very long weekend.
It was.
You were busy and I was not. I was so busy Friday that I did nothing this weekend, and it stretched out and was long. I didn't leave the house on Saturday, I don't think.
I did next to nothing yesterday, and I'm still feeling the weekend.
Yeah.
Still feeling it.
I was at a wedding all weekend. A destination wedding.
Yeah, out of state. Where did you
Grand
go?
Targhee,
That which is in Colorado. No, where is Grand Targhee?
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
That way.
It's like
It's by Jackson Hole.
It's an inch away from Idaho. It's
It's like by Jackson.
yeah, Jackson's on the other side of the Tetons. This is the west side of the Tetons.
So and what was there a point to having it at Grand Targhee?
Yeah, when you're both from different states, it's only fair to make everybody travel to the wedding.
So somebody would.
Is it really?
What two states were they from?
Colorado and Utah, so sort of in the middle.
Yeah,
Sort of in the middle.
Grand Junction. Grand Junction would have been better.
Yeah.
Well, that's still Colorado.
But still, it's almost
Then
Utah.
you're not picking a side.
It's almost Utah.
They got a Holiday Inn up there.
Like a holiday. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful place to have a wedding. I'll tell you about it.
Okay, I sure hope so. Let's get this thing over with, shall we? I guess we would do your check-ins if you want to.
Do we even have a prize
We
for
do.
it?
We do. It's the original Lantern Fest back September 29th. You can come break a Guinness World Record with the biggest lantern launch in history, a night full of music, s'mores. Rich, you didn't tell me about the s'mores.
Where are they doing this?
Let's see.
These are those Chinese lanterns. I've nearly burned down a neighborhood several times with Chinese lanterns.
It's presented by Purple because life's too short to be uncomfortable.
You know what? That's those mattresses. Purple.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So
To answer your question, it does not
it
say.
does not say where it is.
That would be.
All right.
Oh.
But tickets to that, and so call 877-602-9696 if you would like to check in with the Radio from Hell show. 877-602-9696. Tell us in 3 words or less, what are you best at? What are you
best at?
What are you very best at? The thing you do very best. 877-602.
That's what Carrie's best at.
9696.
That is what Carrie's best.
She's got it.
All right.
All right, check in with the Radio from Hell show if you must. If you don't call, you won't get tickets to the Lantern Festival, and we will never do this feature.
The Lantern Festival, which is taking place at Utah Motorsports Campus.
Oh, that's right. He mentioned that to us when he came in here.
All right. All that and more on the way. Stand by. 877-602-9696. BigOTires.com.
You know, Big O Tires more than just tires, really.
Really?
Yeah, sure. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, they do all the stuff. Yeah.
I go to the Big O Tires on 2nd East and South Temple, and I see them doing all kinds of stuff. I've had them do wiper blades for me, but they do shocks, struts, all of that kind of stuff.
I bought my snow tires at the one on Highland Drive.
Big O Tires, they do batteries, inspections, and more. Locally owned and operated, 40 stores, over 40 stores in Utah. Big O knows that tires can be an unexpected expense, so don't wait any longer. At Big O Tires, they have no credit needed financing. No credit needed financing.
That's very handy.
Yeah, so no matter what your budget, no matter your situation, they have the lowest prices on every tire every day. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Multiple lending partners, financing tailored for you. Don't wait another day. Take advantage of their no credit needed financing at Big O Tires. Go to bigotires.com for more.
We want to put $500 in your pocket. Let's 9696. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right. I guess we got to do it.
We do? Did people call? I didn't look.
Well, we got to start the show first.
All right, the official beginning of the show.
What's better after LASIK pool parties? Call Hoops Vision today for $800 off your all-laser LASIK procedure. Get ready to take the plunge. Call and schedule today.
What's a LASIK pool party, Gina?
What's better after LASIK?
What's better after LASIK pool parties? You didn't put a comma there.
There isn't a comma.
Well, there should be. What's better than LASIK pool parties?
Pen, why didn't you put a comma there?
What's better than LASIK pool
I
parties?
just read what I'm given.
I know you do.
There you
That's
go.
right, Mr. Burgundy. You just keep that up.
What's better than LASIK pool parties? Let's have a LASIK pool party, shall we? All right, the moon.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
The moon is, 1% of full. It's essentially a new moon. It's on its way to being full. We'll have a full moon on September 24th. The moon will rise today at 7:59 a.m. Today being Monday. It's the 10th day of September in the year of our Lord 2018. And this is North America's most insidious radio broadcast. I should say that it is the 10th day of September.
You should.
Yes.
In the year of our Lord 2018. And of course, it's the month that we celebrate Led Zeppelin. And it's also Shemptember. It's the month we celebrate Shemp of the Three Stooges. And, you know, Shemp Howard of the Three Stooges, he was a chronic bedwetter. This is your,
I
your
had no idea.
Your Shemp fact of the day.
Were any members of Led Zeppelin chronic bedwetters?
Well, Gina, Shemp Howard's stint in the Army during World War I was cut short because of his bedwetting. He was a bedwetter
That's
all
all
of his
you
life.
have to do to get out of...
But Jimmy Page, now this is your Led Zeppelin fact of the day, was during Led Zeppelin's heyday in the 70s, dated a 14-year-old girl when he was considerably older than that. Her name was Lori Maddox. No word on whether he or Lori were bedwetters. This is the Radio from Hell show starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show, Richard Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, is producing video for the show. You can see us live at x96.com/live. And Nick, your buddy, Nick, your pal, is helping out with the show today. Check in.
Brought to you by It's the News You Trust from the most experienced team in Utah. 2 News. Check out the new KUTV.com. And we do have a prize for check-ins. It's tickets to the Lantern Festival.
All right. Let's begin then. We'll start with Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, thanks for letting me listen.
Lauren, 3 words or less. What are you best at?
I can say it in 1 word.
Okay.
Okay.
Sleeping.
Excellent at sleeping.
Quite, we would give you tickets to the Lantern Festival, but I think that maybe, we should give you tickets to the Lantern Festival because it's presented by Purple.
Oh, a mattress.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Would you like to go to that?
Oh my gosh, yes, I would love to.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Hang on the line.
Yeah.
We'll
All
get
right.
that
Hang on,
information
Lauren.
from you. Let's go to Braden.
Hi, Braden.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning. Braden, 3 words
Thank
or
you for
less.
letting me listen. I made it in even though your phone handler wanted to hang up on me and refused to get me through.
How did you make it through that ordeal?
I had to call back again and force him to let me in, I guess.
All right. 3 words or less, Braden. What are you best at?
I'd say being a dad.
What makes you a good dad?
Well, recently I just bought an older truck, but we threw all the cushions for our couch in the bed of it, and I took my daughter and my newer born son to the drive-ins and watched The Incredibles 2.
That's
and
great.
She absolutely loved it.
That's great.
Okay, that's good.
And it's such fun just blasting down the road toward the drive-in with the kids in the back there, bouncing around.
They
the
love
truck
that.
with the dog. Man.
Only if they're asleep. Only if they're asleep on the way back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, that makes it okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're
But
a
it was
great
just
dad.
fun giving them that kind of experience that I used to do as a kid. So,
All right. Thanks, Braden.
thank you.
All right. 877-602-9696. There were only 2 calls which saved the feature, so you don't have to call. You don't have to call.
All right, some text check-ins. Parade Cody, trimming trees. He's been doing it for 12 years.
You know who Parade Cody is?
No.
He helps us out at the Pride Parade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cody. He trims trees for one of Sandy City or Salt Lake City.
Okay.
You don't want to know. That's another text.
That's a good one.
Beth says, avoiding social situations.
You're best at avoiding them.
Emilio says, not listening.
What?
I can look you dead in the face and not hear a word you just said. Oh, I'm excellent.
Yeah,
at
I
that.
can do that too.
Yeah. Pretty sure that John Bonham was a bedwetter, but not medically. Okay, let's see. Seizure Monica checking in, ruining everything.
Oh, I'm sure that's not true, Monica.
Well,
Says-
it's probably true. She has a seizure, at a wedding and
It's great
birthday
fun.
parties. No,
No?
it's really not.
Not fun?
Ruins everything.
Okay, well, I guess check-ins continue.
Not a cat didn't check in.
Not a cat has not.
Not good
checked
at
in.
anything, I guess.
Mike checking
Daddy
in.
Tom checked in.
What's that?
Daddy Tom, my dad
Tom
checked
Barberi
in.
checked
yeah.
in.
He's
3 words
listening.
or less. Did he say?
He didn't say what he's good at.
And so not following instructions.
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Carrie the coordinator's birthday apparently, because her 3 words, what she's being best at, is being birthday girl.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Big boy news, opinnuendo, very important sports, all in the next break. Stand by for that. Oh, I didn't get Gina's traffic together. Here we go.
Get it together, Carrie Jackson. Let's see. We've got a crash Bangor Highway 78 South in West Jordan. It's the only accident being reported so far. You can report one if you see one. Try it. It's fun. Text it to us, 33986. At Rocky Mountain Power, everything they create is to power your greatness, so keep going and know they're here for you. Learn more at poweringgreatness.com.
All right. Grove.co is the website.
What is that?
That is a place where you can go if you're picky about what you use in your home. They believe a healthy, beautiful home should be accessible to everyone. That's why they made it so easy to get products that you can feel great about using around your home and family. It is the easy and best place to find the best healthy home and personal care products online. Because, every product has been rigorously tested for health, effectiveness, environmental impact. You look at the ingredients on a lot of your home products,
Yeah.
you don't know what's in them.
Not good stuff.
But it's easy to find out what's in them if you go to grove.co. They're bringing sustainability, safety, and transparency to an industry dominated by products with harmful chemicals and toxins. So if that kind of thing concerns you, they carry brands like Mrs. Meyer's, Method, 7th Generation, Burt's Bees. I love my Burt's Bees from grove.co. So here's how you find out how committed Grove is to its customers. With a 100% happiness guarantee and free shipping, it's so easy to discover amazing and affordable natural, home, and personal care products with the confidence of supporting a safer environment for your family. Right now, our listeners can try Grove with a 2-month VIP membership and bonus gift by going to grove.co/x96. Be sure to put that in there so that we get credit. That's grove.co/x96, not grove.com. Grove makes it easy to have a happy, healthy home.
Keep the radio on. A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts at 10. X96.
So we flew all Nippon Airlines?
Mm-hmm.
And
You're saying it wrong.
I'm probably
Yeah.
saying it wrong.
And how was Nippon Airlines?
You remember when you used to fly and you got a meal,
Yeah.
maybe 2?
And you were treated nicely?
You were treated nicely. You got
It was a special experience?
actual silverware. Let me show you.
Yeah.
You have a picture of actual silverware?
No, I've got actual
He's got
silverware.
it with him.
You stole it?
Shh.
Carrie.
They're our allies, Gina.
Yes,
It's okay.
Look at that. Actual metal. Can you believe that? All Nippon Airlines right there. A&A on the thing. So and they're little, So,
Yeah.
Cute,
but
yeah.
you could do some damage with this. You could,
Yeah.
But they don't have those concerns. This is the theme music for All Nippon Airways.
Is that was playing while
this
you're
is while you're
being
boarding.
seated? Yeah.
While you're boarding, this is
It's lovely.
isn't it? Though?
Yeah.
It's very nice. So anyway, yeah, it was amazing. Flying was actually pleasant.
And you know why that is? Because those countries, Carrie, are this close to being communist.
Oh, really?
Well,
if that's the case, we could learn from them.
the government subsidizes the airlines quite heavily in most other countries.
How about that? Maybe that's something that should be looked at, because everywhere I went throughout Tokyo and Seoul and Busan, the streets were clean. People had jobs. It was such.
They seemed happy.
They seemed happy. But yeah, I had a wonderful time. Just oh, here it is. And this was
you want to go back?
This
don't
was
you?
no, this was on a loop. And you know how my earworm is.
Yeah. It stayed with you. Oh, you do. You know the tune.
Yes.
He knows it.
Because it would not stop. It just kept playing over and over. It's the only unpleasant experience about flying on ANA. It's the only thing.
Gina Barberi on X96.
All right. We got very important sports coming up, but before that, big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Big O knows tires. They can be an unexpected expense. Don't wait any longer. Big O Tires, they have no credit needed, financing available. No matter your situation, they have the lowest price on every tire every day. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Tragedy. He was one of a kind. He wasn't original. He will be missed. Bill Daley.
Oh, yes, that happened over the weekend.
Oh, Major Healy.
Major Healy.
The television actor known for playing goofily affable and warm-hearted pals.
May I
on
just stop,
I Dr-
Bill? Bill, may I just stop and applaud you for saying goofily affable?
Goofily affable. On I Dream of Jeannie and the Bob Newhart Show, died at his son's home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He was 91. Patterson Lundquist, his manager and publicist, announced the death on Saturday. In I Dream of Jeannie, Bill Daly played Major Healy, an astronaut and best friend of Major Anthony Nelson, played by Larry Hagman, whose life changes when he falls in love with a blonde Jeannie, played by Barbara Eden, who is still with us, by the way.
Yes.
Ms. Eden said she tweeted that she referred to him as Billy. Billy was a great friend and a wonderful person. I remember him best, though, from the Bob Newhart Show.
He was the dentist. No, he wasn't.
No, he was the airline pilot, who was always jet lagged, and who was always confused about what was going on and when he was supposed to be where. And I don't know why this line always stuck with me. He was always talking with Bob and his wife at the door. He was perpetually coming in and then leaving. And for some reason, he was talking about, he said, when I was a kid, I always had worms in my pocket. I kept worms in my pocket. And I said, why did you didn't the worms die? And he said, well, yeah, but it was just a hobby.
That's funny.
Now, I don't know why that line was so funny.
It is.
Didn't the worms die? Well, yeah, but it was just a hobby.
I like
It
that.
just cracked me up. Anyway, he was an understated comedic genius, I thought. 91 years old. CBS Chief Executive Les Moonves has finally stepped down because you get Ronan Farrow after you. He's not going to let go. Les Moonves, the longtime chief executive of CBS Corporation, stepped down Sunday from the company he has led for 15 years. His fall from Hollywood's highest echelon was all but sealed after the publication earlier in the day of new sexual harassment allegations against him. The CBS board announced his departure effective immediately. As part of the agreement, CBS said that it would donate $20 million to one or more organizations that support equality for women in the workplace. The donation will be deducted from a potential severance benefit that they would have paid to Mr. Moonves. Well, he'll still get plenty.
Yeah, don't cry for
Yeah,
Les Moonves. He's got plenty.
He still would walk away with more than $120 million, according to two people familiar with the settlement agreement. $120 million, he has made that tenfold. He has partially been responsible for making that money tenfold for CBS. Moonves will not receive any severance payment until the completion of an independent investigation into allegations, the board said. He could also receive nothing based on the investigation's results, so it is possible that there's some clause, I guess, that they can withhold everything if they. My guess is that the investigation shows that he's damaged CBS's reputation.
They will give him money.
Well, you heard it here.
They'll give him money.
You've heard it
Sure.
here. Why would they? If I were CBS, I would do everything in my power to prove that he had damaged the corporation's reputation so that I didn't have to give him a dime. Unless he has, plenty of skeletons. He knows of plenty of skeletons in the closet.
I'm sure there's a good old boy network in place.
If he says, okay, you want to play that kind of ball, then I'll play that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Is Julie Chen going to be on her talk show today?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's his wife.
Yes.
Who has she always managed to work because of her talent?
I don't know. I think,
What are you implying, Bill?
She's okay at what she does, doing the hosting
She
thing.
was doing that before she was married to him. It's not like she was nobody and then got a show.
North Korea celebrated its National Day with a series of massive spectacles glorifying 70 years of rule by the Kim dynasty. But they held back any mention of their nuclear weapons program, which a lot of people say is a signal for support of Pyongyang's ongoing negotiations with the United States. The day began with a smaller than expected military parade, which did not include ballistic missiles believed to be capable of targeting the United States, and ended with the first mass games in 5 years. An estimated 100,000 performers participated in Sunday night's games, a highly choreographed propaganda spectacle in which participants act as human pixels, essentially, flipping colorful cards to reveal socialist messages that glorify North Korea. Now, generally, as it mentioned there, they show off these huge missiles, and this year they didn't do that. And a lot of observers say that signals that they're trying to make things good with South Korea and with the United States. We'll see. Donald Trump, of course, took it that way and said, he tweeted all about it, saying, it's really wonderful. Thank you, North Korea. Thank you, Kim Jong-un, for being such a good guy. You and I like each other. We're wonderful friends. Thank you for this show of good faith. This is a big and very positive statement. Thank you, Chairman Kim. We will both prove everyone wrong.
Uh-huh.
There is nothing like good dialogue from two people that like each other. Much better than before I took office.
Yeah, I do everything better.
Yeah.
Anonymous, really anonymous.
All right. So somebody sent me this, said, please don't mention my name, so I won't. Email said, good morning, Bill. I was looking at Twitter this morning and I saw an article from The Guardian. It looks like Utah's own Davis County Sheriff was with Donald Trump as he was hating on the media again. And I saw this story last week, but I didn't pay attention to all of the sheriffs that were there at the White House.
Yeah, I just saw there were a bunch of them.
This caught my interest, so I went to the Davis County Sheriff's Office Twitter profile and saw that whoever is running this account has liked some pretty scary stuff. Why are the LEOs using people that aren't allowed to adopt children, or crazed tweets from James Woods saying that liberals are violent, profane, and disgusting, and they're simply not going to take it anymore? This isn't right, coming from officers who are supposed to indiscriminately serve and protect any and all people in their community. So I looked at the article from The Guardian, first of all, and sure enough, a group of sheriffs gave the President of the United States a troubling ovation after he called journalists very, very dishonest. Here's a taste of local media scrutiny of the 10 of them. Donald Trump whipped up his rowdy ovation from a friendly crowd of sheriffs that were in the White House. He was slamming the media. So who were these sheriffs? And as I scroll through it, sure enough, there is Sheriff Todd Richardson from Davis County. Richardson was sharply criticized in January of this year, this is according to The Guardian, by the editorial board of the Ogden Standard-Examiner, which accused him of abdicating his financial responsibility to Davis County taxpayers and openly defying the rules on running his department. The newspaper earlier reported that the sheriff was found by county auditors to have approved the deputies' bogus time cards, paid out questionable travel expenses for deputies, and mishandled money that relatives sent for prisoners at his jail. In May of this year, Sheriff Richardson, apologized for a harassment scandal in his department, which was closely followed by reporters at Channel 2. So I looked that up, and sure enough, Channel 2 had reported on the harassment charges, and the sheriff had apologized for that. And so I go back and I look at this original email that I got from this guy who wants to remain anonymous, and it's the Davis County Sheriff's Twitter feed.
Which is what? I was just trying to find it. Does it have
It says Davis County SO.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's still up, but these are some of the examples of the tweets that the Davis County Sheriff's Office SO has liked. Donald Trump. The NFL national anthem debate is alive and well again. Can't believe it isn't in contract that players must stand attention. They like to tweet from James Wood, which is, we are a resilient force because liberals in America have gone off the rails. They have become rude, violent, profane, and disgusting, and we are simply not going to take it anymore.
James, we learned it from watching you.
Yeah, they like a lot of Trump tweets.
They like a lot of right-wing and some pretty violent tweets. Now, I don't know if it's the sheriff himself or whoever was doing it in the sheriff's office, but yeah.
It's
So it's
interesting.
pretty interesting stuff, and thank you, Anonymous, for sending that. Sheriffs, and if you look at the list of sheriffs who were there at the White House, who all applauded wildly when Donald Trump suggested that we need to have curbs on the media, all of them have various kind of right-wing and kind of shady things about them, or almost all of them. And then, of course, finally, I don't know where we go with Donald Trump. Oh, I like this. I don't know whatever you think about Omarosa, but she claims that the White House staff had a special hashtag that they use quite often. And she said, I have a bunch of tweets and things like that I can show you. It's a hashtag. It's hashtag TFA, standing for 25th Amendment.
TFA?
25th Amendment. Which was passed back and forth in all kinds of communications in the White House when the president did something that was considered loony or off the rails. People would attach the hashtag TFA in communications, and she said, "I've got them, and I'll show them to you." So there you go.
All right, weather, traffic.
Weather brought to you by Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Enjoy classic German beer, food, and music every Saturday and Sunday through October 21st. Get all of the details at snowbird.com. Quite warm today. It'll be 91 for a high. Traffic. Let me refresh this quickly so I can give you the very latest of information that I have available to me. Crash southbound I-15 at milepost 330. That's Layton Parkway. Left lane being affected there. Crash Bangor Highway 78 South in West Jordan. Looks like that is about it. If you're in an accident, first thing you should do is contact the advocates. Remember, they don't get paid until you do. Go to utahodvocates.com for more information.
All right. Sports brought to us by anybody.
Upon qualification, buy a new home with New Dwello's Gift of Equity program. A gift could mean up to $8,740 for the purchase of a new home. Text the word money to 62687.
Ready, down.
Very important sports now with Mr. Amy Donaldson, Edward K. Brass. He's here to tell us what's been going on in the world of sports and tell us about the NFL ratings, I'm sure, which even before there was a kickoff, Donald Trump said the ratings of the NFL are down because of the
because
players.
People, not standing for the anthem. Yeah. And actually, I looked at that a little bit. I don't know what the ratings were overnight. There was a great game on Sunday night between the Packers and the Bears. But I did look at the attendance at all these games just for that very purpose. And the attendance at every stadium is 91% or higher.
Really?
Generally 100% or more standing room only.
Even the Browns?
Even the Browns, who were not eliminated from the playoffs yet. They tied yesterday.
They tied.
So next week. Yeah. So this is the 50th anniversary of September edition of Very Important Sports. And so September is not merely a time to celebrate the band that Very Important Sports saw in Madison Square Garden 3 times. It's a time of tranquility, reflection, love, and when hate is suspended and we lift each other up. There's no Formula One news for Raul, Montemayor, and San Antonio this week. Next week is the Singapore Grand Prix, which is Very Important Sports listeners know is a British colony that was captured by the Empire of Japan in 1942. When the Japanese marched through the jungle from behind the Singapore, rather than come by sea as the British expected, and they had all their guns pointed at sea. It's also a party town for Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. In football, RSL was on a bye. The Royals were eliminated from the playoffs. The Monarchs lost 2-1 to the Rio Grande Valley Toros to slip to second place in the West. Brazil beat the U.S. men 3-0. And in the South Valley Dry Cleaning League, Little Miss Suit came back from her holdout with a new contract, taking the Pinafores to a 3-0-1 draw.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. In U.S. Open tennis, in the women's finals.
I watched this.
I'd be interested in your take on that. Naomi Osaka over Serena Williams, 6-2, 6-4. In the second set, down 4-3, Ms. Williams was penalized first a point for being coached during the match, which, interestingly enough, her coach admitted he was doing. She became angry. She threw a racket down. She told the umpire he was a thief, and then the umpire penalized her game, leaving her behind 5-3. So the umpire may, and I emphasize may since she lost the first set 6-2, affected the outcome of the game. She was fined $17,000, which, considering she won $1.85 million for coming in second place, was nothing. But it does seem grossly unfair when in the past you've had people like John McEnroe, Illy Nastasi, Jimmy Connors, swearing at umpires,
Andre
throwing
Agassi.
chairs, Andre Agassi, breaking things, breaking rackets. Nothing like that ever happened. And on the other hand, your heart has to go out to Ms. Osaka, too, because
Poor thing.
she won the game. I mean,
She was
she won the match.
crying,
Right.
and it wasn't crying because she won. It was crying because people were booing. And I don't think they were booing
They
her.
were booing her. I think they
but-
were booing what had happened.
Yeah.
Well, and then Serena got up and said, "Let's not boo.
Yeah.
We should be happy for her." And then the crowd cheered and responded properly.
But her win's going to be tainted.
It is.
So regardless, it's just a mess. I mean, it shouldn't have been done, and the mess shouldn't have happened. It should have just played itself out.
I mean, I think Osaka probably would have won.
Right.
Even though I was rooting for Serena.
Right.
But that ref was.
No good.
Well, apparently he's done that to Venus, too.
He has a reputation
He has a
for
history.
being that.
I think he
A
was
reputation of being sensitive,
I
evidently. huh?
think he was a bit sexist, frankly.
So on the men's side, Novak Djokovic, sorry about that, 14th Grand Slam win. He wins the men's side. In Major League Baseball in the East, Boston is in the American League first place. In the National League, Atlanta. In the Central Division, it's Cleveland and the Cubs in the American and National, respectively. In the West, it's Houston and the Colorado Rockies. The wild card leaders are the Yankees and Oakland in the American League, and Milwaukee and the Cardinals. In the National League, the Dodgers are slipping. So maybe there won't be that Dodgers-Yankees World Series after all. In the WNBA, Seattle is up 2-0 over the Washington Mystics. In the NFL, here's your winners. The Dolphins, the Ravens, the Jaguars, Tampa, who beat the Saints, which I have picked as the winner of the Super Bowl. The Patriots, Vikings, Bengals, Browns and Steelers tied, as we talked about. The Chiefs beat the Chargers, who I picked to lose the Super Bowl. So the two Super Bowl teams for very important sports have already lost. The Broncos, Washington. Alex Smith had 2 touchdowns as his debut as Washington's quarterback. The Eagles.
Oh, do I have to root for them
No, wait.
now?
Yeah.
Who did Washington beat?
I don't know. I don't remember. The Cardinals.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Packers last night beat the Bears 24-23. They were down 20-0. Aaron Rodgers injured his knee in the first half, came back through 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, and they won by 1 point.
So do you wish to amend your picks for the Super Bowl?
Oh, no, it's early. I mean, it's
can't-
still early in the season.
You can't
Yeah.
start amending just because someone's losing.
No,
I don't
very,
know how these work. So.
very important sports rides it into the ground, baby. So I'll be riding the Yankees-Dodgers prediction into the
All
ground
right.
the next few weeks. In college football, Utah looked terrible. Their offensive line was terrible against a team called Northern Illinois.
They won, though.
They did win 17-6. They had a defensive touchdown in that game. In the next weekend, they meet number 9 Washington.
It's the blackout game.
Right, and that was very
Is that-
important
you're
sports
supposed to-
prediction.
You're supposed to be so drunk that you black out.
No, you're supposed to wear black to the game.
And what does that do?
It's intimidating. The whole stadium.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And for comparison purposes, BYU had a whiteout game this weekend. And BYU also looked terrible and lost 21-18 to Cal. That score was misleading. They scored at the very end of the game. Cougar fans were very excited by their 5-point win over Arizona last week. Arizona trailed at halftime this week to Houston 31-0. So don't
So
get
what
too
does that
excited.
tell
Yeah. Next, number 5, Wisconsin for BYU. Close your eyes, Cougar fans. They're playing in Madison. Utah State 16, New Mexico State 13. They play Tennessee Tech next. Weber bounced back from losing to Utah 24. Cal Poly, Smart Kids 17. That's their mascot, the Smart Kids. Weber plays South Dakota next. Southern Utah was beaten by Oregon State 48-25, which was probably a money game for them. And now into the very important sports aspect of this program. Louisiana State 31, Southeast Louisiana nothing. Why is that important? Because their quarterback is the third-string Ohio State quarterback who threw for 2 touchdowns and has taken them to 2-0. He transferred as a graduate transfer because he couldn't play at Ohio State. Now he's undefeated in the Southeast Conference. Number 1, Alabama beat Arkansas State. They passed Ohio State University at the weeks at number 1 in the polls. Number 2, Clemson 28, Texas A&M 26. Number 3, Georgia 41, South Carolina 13. Now the one you've been waiting for. Number 4, Ohio State 52, Rutgers 3, behind their new Hall of Fame coach Ryan Day. Dwayne Haskins had 9 touchdown passes. That's their new quarterback in 2 games. He would have set a record for completions in a game, except that their backup quarterback was 10 for 10, so he set the school record. They play TCU next. Oh, and by the way, they're the second most hated school in the country behind Alabama. But
according to
anybody you ask.
Oh, okay.
But as Nikita Khrushchev said, we will bury you.
Yeah.
All right.
And how did Urban Meyer spend his Saturday?
Watching the game on TV.
All right.
Finally, this communication breakdown. It's always the same. Having a nervous breakdown drive me insane. Amen to you.
Okay. All right. It is very important sports.
Thank you, Edward K. Brass.
And it was very important today.
Yes, it was.
We have a quick giveaway. Utah's original mud run, the Dirty Dash, is back September 15th. Salt Lake City, it's the dirtiest race yet, featuring tons of fun obstacles, deep mud pits, presented by Purple because life's too short to be uncomfortable. Visit dirtydash.com and enter DirtyX96 to save 20%, or you can call now 877-602-9696. We've got a free registration for up to 4 people.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Traffic, you expect me just to leap to traffic just like that?
You're a professional. No, we don't expect it.
Crash southbound I-15, milepost 330. That's Layton Parkway. The left lane is closed there. That's the only thing popping up on the UDOT site, and I haven't seen anything via text. But if you see something, let us know. Text it to us, 33986.
You know what you ought to do, too, is go to the Salt Lake Film Society's website, slfs.org, and get involved with the Red Carpet Club. It's a way that you can help out the Salt Lake Film Society. But even if you don't do that, you can see all of the movies that are there. They'll send you a weekly update on what new movies and what's hanging around.
That's really handy, by the way, because the email comes, it reminds you that these movies are there, courtesy of the Salt Lake Film Society.
They really are, and they do bring in the best stuff. Really, so you had the opportunity to see the Mr. Rogers documentary.
Wonderful.
Before. Yeah, it was really terrific. I finally saw it. The Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentary.
That
before,
also was good.
Yeah, before anybody. So, and then they bring in also not just documentaries, but dramas and comedies, offbeat things that you won't see anywhere else. They have a podcast called Talkin' Film, and they have the best snack bar at the Broadway of any snack bar in town, I think.
Hot mini donuts.
So what you want to do is go see these movies, support the Salt Lake Film Society at both of their theaters, and just make sure you go to the website. It's slfs.org.
X96 presents the final night of the Salt Lake Community College Twilight Concert Series with King Princess and Flora Cash.
Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
Well, we've taken Pierce Bronson also in that same deal.
The former 007.
Yep.
Did you see that movie he was in, by the way, ever, The Matador?
No, I wanted to see that.
You've got to see it. It's great. He's great in that.
I got to get that one in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And how was he?
Honey, write that down.
He was very nice.
Okay. What am I writing down?
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, your sweetheart.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was great too. Very nice guy.
Uh-huh.
Like him a lot.
Okay,
so.
how about a horror
I was going to
story?
say, we're getting some nice guy stories.
We've taken Paris Hilton.
I knew you were going to say
Did
Paris
you really?
Hilton.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say
this
that.
last Sundance, we had Paris for 4 days.
That's hot.
And how was that?
Paris is a very unique girl.
She's so nice. He is so nice, isn't he?
How is she unique?
Well, she's got a style of her own. That's for sure. She,
As I
she
pull out
does
the nice guy,
yeah,
nice guy to carry
it depends.
translation.
I mean, are we
dictionary.
talking drunk or sober?
You know,
Did you ever see her sober?
No, actually. Maybe once in the morning. I can't be certain though.
So she was a treat to carry around, was
yeah, she. My neighbor's jealous. He loves her, but you gotta meet her. You gotta meet her, I guess.
she? Get the full effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You cleaned the limo after that, I hope. You don't want.
we've got a full detailer.
Excellent. Yes.
And any other quick little horror story about anybody?
No, not really. I mean, most of the celebs are pretty good.
Really nice.
They're some of them can be a little high maintenance, but for the most part, they're really generous. They're nice. Keep to themselves. They don't make a lot of trouble.
It's what you would expect, really. I mean, they just want a nice, quiet ride, and thank you very much.
Now, what about the folks you've been giving rides to in Garland? Have they been high maintenance?
Oh no, not at all. Just around the block.
Like Paris Hilton? Mac, he wasn't any trouble?
Now the crowd keeps turning over here. Anybody here want to go on a limo ride? You want to go? Anybody?
That has not gone yet?
Yeah, we had a couple.
Wasn't one now? If it's only one guy, you got to collect some people and go with you.
Two? All right.
Just go around the.
These guys haven't gone.
Just go around the block. It's a treat.
96.3 FM. X96.
Go from hell.
703, do you want to do the giveaway?
Yeah, X96 wants to send you to the Night of Fire event at Rocky Mountain Raceway. This is Saturday, September 15th. You can
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I know. Get all the details and purchase your tickets at rmrracing.com. And all this week, At this time, we will be giving tickets away. So I'm going to give you a keyword, and you are going to text it to 33986, and you could win a 4-pack of tickets for the Night of Fire at Rocky Mountain Raceway this Saturday. Here's your keyword, tire, T-I-R-E, tire. Text that to 33986.
So, I think Dylan put this at probably on the Radio from Hell Twitter, is it, and Facebook and all of that, and you can see it live too if you want. Radio from or x96.com/live. On Friday, when I left here, I went to the tattoo parlor.
You did.
I did.
You got the ink fever again?
Well, I'm not sure I was planning on getting a tattoo.
You told us you were.
Well, I was going to go talk to Sergio about it.
A consultation.
I was going to go talk to him about it at Tattooland. And I said I'd be there at 11, and then I got caught up here a little bit. And so, anyway, I got there at 11:30, 11:45. And he said, okay, man, I got these. Here's some of the drawings and things we talked about. And then he started, what he does is he has the drawings and all of that, of things we talked about. And then you do a stencil, kind of a carbon copy. Mm-hmm. And so he started making the carbon copy. And then he was putting it on my arm. And then I was sitting down. And then the next 2 hours later,
you hadn't intended for that to be the...
I'm not sure. But then I was, I was okay with it. I was sitting there and we were talking, and then a bunch of people came in, and it's always a pleasure to be there with Sergio, because he's a talkative guy. And
was he telling you his latest conspiracy theory?
No, I won't talk to him about that.
Okay, good.
Whenever
he wants to talk about the chemtrails.
Whenever he wants to start talking about the conspiracy things or aliens coming to Earth, I said, no, Sergio, no,
stop.
I don't want to talk about that. I mean, I'll talk about politics with him, and he's really liberal and all of that, and we'll talk about that. But then he likes the conspiracy stuff too. Yeah. And I don't want to talk about that. So, but then a lot of Hispanic people come in, and then the conversations with them, all in Spanish, which I really like too, because I don't understand most of it.
You
but
just like to hear it.
It's just really entertaining to me, And he's a really entertaining guy,
yeah.
And you can tell that the people, even though I don't know what he's talking about with people, they love him because he's funny, and he makes them laugh, and so he's tattooing me. And it's been a while since I've had a tattoo. I forgot it. It hurts.
Yeah. Well, it is needles.
You've had several. You forgot that it hurts.
Well, it's needles, yeah.
Gina, you've had 3 children.
That's true. I forgot that.
Come on. Hurts. Really. It hurts. You can get... And they don't give you an epidural when you have a tattoo.
No?
No. And so then after 2 hours, and then it was done. Mm-hmm. And then I went home, and then I went, wait a minute.
What did I do?
Yeah. Because it's...
How did you do what did I do because of what it is, or because you weren't feeling well?
It's funny. I think anytime you make a purchase, a big purchase, you have sort of buyer's remorse. Sometimes.
Yeah, but other things you could, sell. Or
I don't know. Yeah, but
give away, or...
A lot of times you have buyer's remorse when you buy a house or a car. And
do you have tattoo remorse?
No, I don't. But I did for a few hours, for a little while. But it's a big tattoo.
Well, let's see it.
How big?
Oh, before you show it to... Oh, well.
All right.
Before you show it to us, what's the backstory? Why this? What made you?
I've been getting more and more interested in Zen Buddhism, and I've been buying Buddhas, or like my wife will find a Buddha at the DI or something, because
people take Buddhas to the DI.
They do. She'll find them there all the time. I don't. And
people die, the relatives clear everything out. And they,
Okay.
What do they have a Buddha for? I don't want that, And I think I have like 6 or 7 around the house. I have one up my desk.
So are you saying you have too many? Because now you have a tattoo?
No.
Too many Buddhas.
No, I like them. I like them.
Okay, well, let's...
So there it is.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's big.
It
It's
is
huge.
big.
Yeah. So you can see it at x96.com/live. Now, that's not the way it's going to look. That's Friday.
Okay.
From Friday.
Oh, he's going to add color?
Maybe. It's kind of... and it's kind of flaky a little bit.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you? Is it because it's big that you're?
It's nicely done. I mean, it's really nicely done.
It takes up your entire forearm.
Yeah, it's.
Now this is
did you-
young Buddha. This is
it's a Buddha.
It's a skinny Buddha.
There are all kinds of Buddhas that you can pick, and I wanted this serene looking.
Now, did you wrap it in plastic like you're supposed to and everything?
Yeah. No, what was so it used to be. Last time I had a tattoo from Sergio, he just takes Saran wrap and tape it around there. Not anymore.
Oh,
he's got this the surgical stuff. You put it over and then and it seals it.
Really?
And I said, "Wow, that's new." He said, "Yeah, the health department says we have to do it this way now." And he said, "And it's better."
But
and
aren't you supposed to have it on still though?
No, just for 24 hours.
And you can shower with that on, or
don't get it wet for 24 hours. And then you're fine.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing that was stopping me from getting another tattoo was it's not that it hurts. It was the care and feeding afterward. That you had to have that plastic on it. It felt like a week you had to have it on or
just
something.
24 hours. Don't get it wet. Don't get it wet. Leave that on for 24 hours.
Can you feed it after midnight?
Now,
that's something.
See, the thing about this is, he said, I'll just do a grayscale, and it's going to look a lot different as it heals more. He said, I'll just do grayscale, and if you want color, he said, when it heals, just get some magic markers and mess around with it.
Oh, to see what
color it in, put some pink on it, put some this on it. See if you want color. Just play around with it.
I think you should just leave it like.
Well, we'll see, because so those are lotus blossoms at the bottom.
So maybe you just color that.
And
part.
maybe I want a little color on the lotus blossoms, because a lot of times you'll see pink and blue on the lotus blossoms.
But why are you having?
I'm not anymore.
Oh,
but right after I went, man, that's big. So now I think, well, maybe I want to do some more around this part of my arm.
Well, because you talked about getting a whole sleeve.
But I don't know what else I would do, so we'll have to figure it out. I don't know. But I got a big tattoo.
It's bigger than I anticipated you were going to get. Although you mentioned maybe a sleeve someday, but that to me is not an impulsive tattoo. The size of that one.
It's not impulsive?
No, to me that's an impulsive tattoo. To me is smaller and simpler. Mm-hmm. This is not small nor simple.
This is a commitment.
Yeah.
And what if you start hating the Zen stuff? What if that happens?
Well, no, I won't. I mean, I
you
may
used to be Mormon. You gave up on that.
But I won't. But Buddhism isn't a religion. It's not a religion. So
he says that now.
No, it's not a religion, though. That's the thing, which is why I like it.
Okay.
It's just a way of thinking, and you can do it as aggressively or non-aggressively as you like.
Aggressive Buddhism?
Yeah, I mean, as
I'm aggressively Buddhist.
You can be as into it and it's compatible. I mean, if you wanted to be any other religion, it's compatible with any religion. Really.
And see, and unlike sports fandom, you're not just a casual sports fan. You have to be all in it. Buddhism, at least, he's flexible.
You can be kind of a casual Buddhist, or you can be a very committed Buddhist.
I'm casual Buddhist.
and they were taught. So I went to the Zen meeting yesterday on Sunday, and we were talking about, well, should you convince other people to be Buddhist? And the consensus was, well, no, Buddhism is not.
There aren't missionaries.
No, you do not. Buddhists do not proselytize. And that's really true. The only reason I ever started thinking about Buddhism was because I was hanging around with Buddhists, but not because they talked to me about
peer pressured into being Buddhist?
No, not because they talked to me about Buddhism. It's because I liked them and the way they lived and the way, this is when I was in Nepal. and I liked those people, and I liked the way they lived, and so I asked them about it, and they were sort of reluctant to talk to me about it. Oh, you don't really want to, you don't want to know about it.
Yeah, out of all the belief systems on the planet, I think they're the least pushy.
They're they're not pushy at all. They're just
Be Buddhist. Don't be Buddhist. See if I care.
I
Right?
don't care.
Yeah.
You could be, you know.
So anyway, big tattoo, brand new.
It's what pretty.
Oh, thanks. It does look nice.
Yeah, no, it's-
Sergio does good work.
Well, just quickly, is the face looking at you or looking out?
It's looking out.
See, it should be looking at you.
No.
You don't get tattoos for other people. They're for you. It should be.
Okay, Gina, who never has a tattoo, never will have a tattoo, who
Let's just flip that right over. Let's flip it over.
Thanks
It's
for telling
easy.
me about it.
We can just flip it right over.
5 miles of stopped traffic southbound I-15 from Center Street in Clearfield to the Layton Parkway in Layton. Utah Highway Patrol has stopped all lanes to move cars from the left to the right side of the freeway, so that's causing some major slowage there, but that's the only accident being reported. Check our message stream quickly and see if anybody sent anything there. Nope. 33986 if you do see something. Celebrate autumn at Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Escape for the whole weekend with the Oktoberfest getaway package, including lodging, daily breakfast, all-day activity pass, $116 per person per night. Get details at snowbird.com.
All right, here are your boners round one coming up. Boner candidate number 1, run, fat ass, run! Boner candidate number 2, well, thank goodness they left us some candles. And boner candidate number 3, I don't know why it's illegal, but it's illegal.
All right, there you go. Round one of your boner voting coming up. Stand by for that.
Oh, Diamonds Direct, man. Listen, let me check this. Yeah. If you thought you could not afford a nice big diamond for a pair of diamond earrings, or a pair of diamond earrings, I should say, you need to get to Diamonds Direct because you can afford a big diamond. You can afford a pair of diamond earrings.
How can I afford
Everything is affordable now because they've got that 5-year zero interest financing available on any purchase and no money down.
Zero interest for 5 years.
Yeah, and no money down. So you can do it. You really can do it.
You can get that paid for in 5 years.
Yeah, that means
Certainly.
That means like I could get that diamond tennis bracelet. What diamond tennis bracelet? What I could get one for what? $7,000, $8,000, maybe.
Oh no, you can get them for less.
Can I get them for less
sure,
than that?
yeah.
So I could get that. Then I just divide the payment by 60 months. Divide the price by
Mm-hmm.
60 months, and there's my payment. And that includes you just roll the tax into that at Diamonds Direct. No interest for 5 years. Don't you think I'd look great in a diamond tennis bracelet?
Especially with your new tattoo.
$12,000 designer engagement ring, that'd be $200 a month, for instance. So, Diamonds Direct, 5 years, zero interest, zero down. It's amazing. 6400 South, right across from the Fashion Place Mall. September is Suicide Awareness Month. X96 and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention invite you to attend the Out of the Darkness Walk at 9 a.m. on Saturday, September 15th at Liberty Park in Salt Lake City. Suicide qualifies as an epidemic, and Utah has one of the highest suicide rates in the country. Join me, Bill Allred, on September 15th to work together and help put an end to suicide.
he works late a couple nights a week, and then I'm in charge of dinner.
That means Olive Garden.
Which is a laugh.
Which me in charge of dinner is never me making dinner.
It's Olive Garden.
You could learn. You're not stupid. You could learn. It's not. No, it's probably too late for you.
Listen, there are a limited number of recipes that you can do with meat and bread. And that's.
And my kids will tell you this story if you ever have them. What does your mom make you for dinner? And you know what they will tell you? Mac and milk.
Mac and milk?
Because a while ago I went to make mac and cheese for them.
We have people who work for the Division of Child and Family Services listening to this show. I'm not sure you want to tell this.
And because I don't eat mac and cheese, I don't think, really. So you boil the pasta, and then I measured out the milk.
This is for the boxed.
Yeah, to put the
crap
powder in.
that any moron can do.
Yeah.
That at 8 years old I was doing.
And I poured the milk into the noodles, and I put it on the table, and the kids, all three of them, sitting there, and they said, "Did you put the cheese?
Where's the cheese?
Back in?"
It's just powder. It's cheese powder. Where is it?
I forgot to put it in the milk and mix it up.
So you are stupid. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to learn to cook.
Yes.
You could do it.
But my husband does such a good job.
But that burden falls upon you to give succor to your family. to nourish
twice a week.
Gina, to nourish and strengthen their bodies.
That doesn't hurt them to have pizza twice a week.
So you're a disappointment. I'm surprised you snagged a husband.
I am too.
Well, everybody.
And he's such a good guy. He wouldn't divorce me now that he knows the truth.
Even though he was duped.
Yep.
This is now a pity marriage.
All the way.
I'm married.
I got him to marry me quickly.
Now I'm married to you out of pity. I got to stick with you because you wouldn't survive.
The Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 7:22 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. 3 news stories. They are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote who is the worst, who is the most deserving of these 3 candidates, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Yeah, if it wins here, it's not boner of the day yet. It has to defeat the winner of round 2. Yes, we do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates.
Fools.
Then we take those 2 winners and we throw them into the Boner Dome at 9:20. That's when boner fight happens and you decide boner of the day. So 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. So one of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Entrance to, is it the wine? Oh, here it is. No, that's not the right thing. Sorry, Nick. Bill, you know what this is, the food and wine. My thing says SL Restaurants, and I know that's not what it is. It's like the wine thing. Well, I'll get it for you in a second. There it is. Thank you, Nick. The Salt Lake Food and Wine Fest is September 11th through the 16th. 17 unique events over 6 days celebrating the independent restaurants in Salt Lake. It's a great way to support our community. Go to saltlakefoodandwinefest.com, and we have tickets to that to give away.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Run, fat ass, run! A St. Johns County man has pleaded no contest to an assault charge after he was accused of chasing his neighbor down with a tractor. Investigators.
There it is.
Yeah. That's the guy driving the tractor on the left, and on the right there he is chasing.
And see, when I read the headline, it just said tractor, and so I assumed it was like one of those riding lawnmowers because they're occasionally referred to as tractors. But that's an actual
that's a front end loader.
Front end loader.
Investigators said Howell Morris got into a property dispute with Scott Lynch. The episode was filmed by Scott Lynch's wife, who called 911 and gave the video to deputies. Mr. Morris's assault charge will be dropped after 18 months, provided Mr. Morris enrolls in Veterans Treatment Court, pays Scott Lynch $2,000 for damage to his property, no longer has contact with Scott Lynch, and does 50 hours of community service. Scott Lynch told deputies the dispute escalated when Mr. Morris climbed into his tractor, drove onto Mr. Lynch's property, and then chased him down his driveway yelling, "Run, fat ass!" Mr. Lynch said he ran for his life, fearing that Mr. Morris would have run him over if he'd stopped. The chase came to an end when Mr. Lynch took refuge inside of his garage and shut the door. Video recorded by Lynch's wife showed Morris steer the tractor toward the victims as he was running down the driveway. After reviewing the clip, the deputies went, "Yeah, we're going to arrest him," and they did. Boner candidate number 1, run, fat ass, run! Here's boner candidate number 2. Well, thank goodness they left us some candles. Officials said that a woman in Connecticut was in this home, and the home lost power during a storm on Thursday night last week. The family wasn't able to buy any emergency lights because Home Depot was closed, but according to officials, they recalled that the tenants before them had left behind what they thought were candles. So the woman lit what she believed to be a candle. It was dynamite, and it blew up in her hand.
This is a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Yeah. Oh, I was joking. I didn't know you were going to put that up.
That's the Roadrunner. The woman reportedly injured her face and one of her hands, including the potential loss of several fingers.
Wow.
And a window was shattered in the incident. The victim's husband and 2 children were home at the time, but there were no other reported injuries. One of the children reportedly called 911 after the dynamite went off. State police, local fire marshal, as well as bomb squad investigated the incident, evacuating neighboring houses. They found one other stick of dynamite in the house. It's not clear why the previous tenants left behind a couple of sticks of dynamite. It's also not clear why the people were so stupid they thought they were candles, but they did. Boner candidate number 2, well, thank goodness they left us some candles. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, well, I don't know why it's illegal, but it's illegal.
All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 1, coming up after this big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, featuring corned beef, pastrami, mustard, pickles, imported from New York City. Now serving breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Saturday, dinner Thursday through Saturday, featuring local live music Friday and Saturday nights. Located at 20th East, 27th South. More information at feldmansdeli.com.
Well, this damn thing, damn it. Just damn it.
What?
This Cardi B, Nicki Minaj thing is just getting out of hand.
I know you're on Nicki Minaj's side.
I am not.
You're always on Nicki Minaj.
I am a Cardi B all the way. They grew up just 15 miles apart. One in the apartment in the Bronx, the other a house in the Queens. But together, New York City rap royalty Nicki Minaj and Jamaica and Cardi B of Highbridge. It's like they're oil and water, man.
I wish they
bury the hatchet.
Well, they're forcing me to choose, and I don't want to have to choose.
Well, I did choose.
Carrie wants
this
both.
Ugly rivalry between the two of the top women of rap smoldered for more than a year before exploding Friday when the hip-hop hellions had it out, WWE style, at the Harper's Bazaar Icons Bash during Fashion Week. First, First, a Minaj security guard, and wouldn't you know, it would be somebody from the Minaj camp started it, threw an elbow at Cardi's head in a lobby of the Plaza Hotel. Then Cardi threw a shoe at Nicki Minaj, and then at one point, new mom Cardi B shouted at Minaj, "Let them talk about my daughter again," before storming away in a huff. Bitch, come here, Cardi, who gave birth to a girl, Culture with a K, with husband Offset, in July, can be heard in another fan clip. Minaj reportedly didn't even flinch as Cardi B was let out of the party. Cardi, of course, was hobbling because she, had thrown her shoe, but the look on her face was triumphant. This goes back, you all know this beef goes back to 2017 when Minaj name-dropped Offset and his rap group Migos in her collaboration with Katy Perry called Swish Swish, Yeah. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. So it's just been ugly since then. I don't know which one this is.
That's Cardi. She's your favorite.
It's Cardi.
You're on her team.
That's Cardi.
You're on her team. You
Team
should be able
Cardi.
to identify.
I couldn't tell for a second, but now I know.
They're very different.
Let me play you some Nicki Minaj. How about?
Oh, please don't. That's enough. That's plenty.
No, it's your favorite. It's Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
No, Cardi.
I can't keep track.
Actually, this is Cardi B. I was just testing to see if anyone.
2 high-profile Park City residents were arrested for stealing hunting equipment.
High profile, huh?
Unified Police arrested Paulie Samuels McLean and Andrew McLean for theft and criminal mischief. Paulie McLean is an assistant city attorney for Park City.
Really?
And Andrew is a professional ski mountaineer and product designer for Black Diamond. On September 1, both Paulie and Andrew McLean were observed on a trail camera taking 2 hunting tree stands and a trail camera from a wooded area where the victim of the theft was hunting from. The other trail camera captured photos of both of them cutting the security cables attached to the items to the trees. The items were valued between $1,500 and $5,000, while the items damaged were valued under $500. Both booked into the Salt Lake County Jail. This is a report on Channel 2's website, and that's all we know. Let's see. Woods Cross police chief, this happened last week, resigned in the middle of a city council meeting.
Wow. Dramatic.
Effective immediately. This is Wednesday because of disagreements and some matters that came up, city officials said. Greg Butler had been the department's police chief since 2011. Gary Ursick, Woods Cross city administrator, said in a statement that it became clear after recent disagreements it'd be better for everybody if he just resigned. He added that it was mutual agreement. Butler's biography on the Woods Cross website said that he began his career as a police officer in Bountiful in '86, moved to the West Jordan Police Department, then he became police chief in Montpelier, and then Woods Cross police chief 3 years later. He said, Greg Butler has been the department head for 7 years. He has done a great job, said Gary Ursick, the city administrator. There are no ill feelings. Nobody is saying completely, though, what happened. Why all of a sudden an abrupt resignation.
There's a story there.
Sure is. Bob Woodward talking about, now his book comes out today. Tomorrow. Says of his book,
I keep checking
Fear,
my porch for it.
President Donald Trump's aides are worried that he poses a potential threat to national security.
Wrong.
Now, Bob Woodward gave his first TV interview over the week. You look at the operation of this White House and you have to say, let's hope to God we don't have a crisis, Woodward said in an interview that aired on Sunday on CBS Sunday Morning. People better wake up to what's going on, he said. Woodward, famously part of the duo of reporters who unearthed the Watergate scandal for the Washington Post during the Nixon administration, said he interviewed nearly 100 people for Fear, Trump in the White House. People who work for him are worried that he will sign things or give orders that threaten the national security or the financial security of the country or of the world, he told CBS. Trump has lashed out at Bob Woodward, claiming the renowned journalist fabricated many of the explosive quotes in the book, attributed to top administration officials, including White House Chief of Staff John Kelly and Secretary of Defense James Mattis. The Woodward book is a scam, Trump tweeted on Friday. I don't talk that way, unquoted. If I did, I would not have been elected president. These quotes were made up. Woodward just brushed that off.
Oh.
He's wrong. And my reporting is meticulous and careful, Woodward said, affirming even the most eyebrow-raising passages in his book. For instance, he wrote that Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn and White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter, before their ousters from the administration, stole documents off Trump's desk in the Oval Office so that he wouldn't sign them. They realized that these documents might endanger the country, Woodward said. Cohn and Porter got away with it because Trump doesn't remember. If it's not on his desk, if it's not immediately available for action, it goes away. People say, how could that be possible? I want you to remember that very, very early in the Trump administration, he said to the Army, to the chiefs of staff, no transgender people in the military. And the Joint Chiefs of Staff ignored it.
Yep.
And he never brought it up again.
Nope.
He said, I want you to make sure that there are no transgender people in the military. They went, oh, okay, we'll get right on that. And then they didn't get right on it. They ignored a direct order from the commander-in-chief.
Because they knew it was wrong.
So...
And those are just the ones we know about. There's got to be other stuff we don't know about.
For instance, the Cohn and the Porter stuff.
Well, I guess it says something like high crimes and all. I don't know how you can impeach somebody who's done a great job.
Weather, traffic, sports, whatever you'd like to do here.
We had so much sports earlier. Plus, I forgot. Weather, nice and hot today. 91 for a high. We could have a little breeze, too, that will hopefully clear out some of this
I couldn't believe
smoke.
how smoky it was yesterday.
The fires are still bad in California, and it's drifting our way.
I'm having to take medicine because of postnasal drip.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
Oh, man.
But that wind should help a little bit. So things nasty up in Davis County. 5 miles of nearly stopped traffic southbound I-15 from Center Street in Clearfield to the Layton Parkway in Layton. That's caused some major issues through that area. We also have a crash northbound I-15, milepost 282 in Lehigh, right shoulder being affected there. And I think that's it. So one major crash, but everything else looks pretty clear. Saturday, September 15th at Liberty Park, we'll walk to fight suicide, raise awareness about mental health. Bill Allred will be hosting this. Funds raised at the walk benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, providing needed research, advocacy, education, and support. You can learn more at outofthedarkness.org.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 3. I don't know why it's illegal, but it's illegal. Kellyanne Conway has said that a controversial anonymous New York Times op-ed is illegal. But when pressed by Jake Tapper, she said, well, I don't know why. The counselor to President Trump spoke to CNN's Jake Tapper during State of the Union program on Sunday about the article, which was published last week by an unknown top administration official. During her interview, Conway called for a probe into the article, saying the Justice Department should look to see if there were any criminal activity. Jake Tapper pushed back, saying, well, it didn't appear that anything illegal had been done. Conway said, I don't know that, and I don't think you know that. But she seemed vague when pressed about what crime was possibly committed. She said, when pressed by Tapper to explain what criminal action was done then, if you should be investigated, she said, well, I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why it's illegal, but it's illegal.
Oh, boy.
Because I said so. That's
because it is.
Best people, the best people.
All right.
Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, Run, fat ass, run. Man pleading no contest to a charge of chasing down another guy with his tractor and yelling at him, run, fat ass, run. Boner candidate number 2, well, thank goodness they left us some candles. A woman, during a blackout, igniting a stick of dynamite, thinking that it was a candle. And boner candidate number 3, I don't know why it's illegal, but it's illegal.
All right, here we go. This is round 1 of your boner voting. You've got to decide, of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? If it wins here, it'll go up against the winner of round 2's voting. We'll do this again with 3 more candidates at 8:20. So we'll take the winner of each round and do boner fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day happens. So you've got to decide 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. Put that number in the message of a text and then text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696 or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting September 10 and vote there. Less than 300 seconds to do it. Let's go.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding on X96.
Tonight on
Rod Decker, undercover.
Ace reporter Rod Decker goes undercover at the state capitol. What really goes on at the legislature? What are the power brokers up to? Rod knows the legislators put up a facade when they see him coming with a camera crew, and so Decker disguises himself as a schoolgirl on a field trip with Mrs. Spencer's 6th grade class.
Okay, kids, now settle down. Before we get back on the bus and go back to school, I want you to meet Governor Mike Levitt.
Hi, kids. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to the Capitol today. Very important work takes place here. Do you have any questions? Yes, you, the tow-headed kid with the striped shirt.
What's with the car in the basement? Is that the Employee of the Month's car?
No, that's the Mormon Meteor. It was once the world speed record holder. Okay, you, the boy with the hat on backwards.
How come the Capitol has gold on the top of it? Isn't that a waste of money?
Well, Sonny, that's not gold, it's copper. Like a Duracell battery. And we have time for one more question before I have to get back to running the state. You in the back, the tall, homely girl with the pigtails and glasses.
Tell me, Governor Levitt, will we have to spend tax money on the Olympics? How do you feel about having an official beer of the Olympic Games? What about I-15? Is it on schedule and anywhere near budget? Will tobacco be outlawed in this state?
Hold on here. You ask a lot of questions for a little girl. Say, I know you from somewhere.
I can assure you, sir, that you have never met me before. As you can see, I'm just an average 6th grade girl on a field trip.
You're Rod Decker.
No, my name is LaDonna, and what you're saying is, rather than handle some tough questions from a schoolgirl, you would prefer to make accusations about my true identity.
I knew it. You are Rod Decker. Rod, why didn't you just ask for an interview?
Well, there you have it. Politicians won't even let their guard down in front of innocent children. You can't get a straight answer from them, no matter who you are.
That's tonight on
Rod Decker, Undercover.
On the Channel 2 News at 6 and 10.
Ever wonder what Bill Allred is thinking at any given moments? Follow him on Twitter at RFHBill. Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 7:46. Time to award round one of your boners.
And round one is brought to you by Couscous Salad.
And the Salt Lake Food and Wine Fest, September 11th through the 16th. 17 unique events over 6 days. Join X96 at the big event. Meet Your Maker on Regent Street, Saturday 15th. 10 of Salt Lake's greatest chefs. They're roasting beef, lamb, trout, pork, all for you. Tastings of 90, that's 90, different wines. Go to... Bill's woofing over there. He's so excited. Go to saltlakefoodandwinefest.com for tickets.
So we had boner candidate number one. Run, fat ass, run! It's the they got into some kind of a dispute, property dispute, and one guy ended up chasing the other with his front end loader and yelling, "Run, fat ass, run" at him. Boner candidate number two. Well, thank goodness they left us some candles. Woman igniting a stick of dynamite while trying to light a candle during a blackout. He thought it was a candle. And boner candidate number three. Look, I don't know why it's illegal, but it's illegal. Kellyanne Conway saying the anti-Trump op-ed that appeared in the New York Times is illegal, and
somehow,
when pressed by Jake Tapper, well, how is it illegal? It doesn't appear to anybody else to be illegal. Well, I don't know, but it is. Let's see. Jennifer won the Salt Lake restaurant wine and food thing, and the winner, big votes for both number 2 and number 3, but the winner ultimately number 2. Well, thank goodness they left us some candles.
Good one. A classic boner indeed. That is the winner of round 1. It will now go up against the winner of round 2. Well, we got to do round 2 before we get both winners, of course. Round 2 will happen at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. So then we'll take both winners and throw them in at 9:20 for boner fight, when you will decide boner of the day.
That happened on CNN, by the way. That number 3 did, and it's been bugging me. I've been listening to CNN lately. I get so tired of hearing not Jake Tapper, Wolf Blitzer say, "You're in the situation room."
You're not in the situation
room. You're not,
room.
and neither is Wolf. They're not in the situation room.
Not actually in a room.
I'm Wolf Blitzer, and you're in the situation room.
Don't you wish?
Stage in New York, where I stand.
Here, and we're going to be talking about some situations. It bugs me. Anyway.
So I went to a destination wedding over the weekend.
Well, I'm glad you went to it, because if you hadn't gone to it, it wouldn't have been a destination.
Right. If it had come to me, that's a different thing.
Isn't any wedding a destination wedding?
I guess technically, but they call it a destination wedding when they Say, we're having a wedding here, and it's a place where none of you live, so you all have to come here.
So you all have to spend a lot of money just to help us celebrate our nuptials. Won't that be fun for you?
You get to spend a lot of money.
Destination weddings are rude.
They're rude.
That's what I think.
They're not rude if they take you to a place you've never been that's beautiful. And
I think if they're going to do that, they should say, here's a plane ticket, here's a hotel, a chit for your hotel.
No. It was an excuse to go someplace.
An excuse to say chit.
It was an excuse to go someplace that I think most of these people had never been. It's my nephew Sam and his fiancee Michaela, and she's from Colorado and he's from Utah, and so you have a destination wedding. So nobody's on their home turf. Yeah, you go to a separate
neutral court.
Yeah, neutral place. And I'd never been to Grand Target.
So did you ski?
I've been on the other side, over by Jackson Hole. But part of what you do at a destination wedding, because people are there for a couple of days, so there are different events. It's not just the wedding. It's so on Saturday,
skeet shooting.
On Saturday, you had your option of
goat roping.
No. You had your option of going on a mountain bike ride.
Yeah, well, you're not going to do that.
With the father of the groom.
Oh, boy.
So there was that. There was, Carrie, you would have liked this. They had a disc golf option.
Okay. I would have done that.
That was more for the college kids that were there.
Yeah.
And then there was the option of coffee with the grandmas.
No, I probably would.
I might have done
Yeah,
that. Wasn't there any brandy and cigars in the wardroom?
No.
No?
Coffee with the grandmas. And then the last option was a moderate hike with the mother of the groom.
Moderate hike.
Who is my sister, Mikkel. And I should have known that if it was something that Mikkel was putting together, it was not going to be moderate.
Why did you do this?
Because
I know Mccain.
I should have known it was a moderate hike
by her
for
standards.
her.
Yeah.
But no, that's her fault for using the term moderate.
So, and I think there were about 25 people that decided to go on the moderate hike.
Well, they saw the word moderate and they felt safe.
And we gathered at the bottom of the mountain. And our family friend Chelsea did a morning meditation before we started, which was lovely.
When you were gathered at the bottom of the mountain, that should have been your first clue to say, I'm not feeling well.
Yeah. But because I wasn't sure. Sometimes you go up a little bit and then it's sort of a level.
No. There was no, we're taking the lift up and coming back down. There was none of that.
There was, we're hiking to the top and taking the lift back down.
No, that's,
So we started.
How far did you make it?
And she said we said, how long is it? She said, it's 3 miles.
Straight up. She didn't add straight up, did she?
It's 3 miles. So, okay.
3 miles is not a moderate hike.
No.
Well.
Straight up.
By the way, I looked it up. It's 3.2 miles, and that's one way. Because if you don't make it all the way to the chairlift, you have to hike back down. Which I did.
Because you didn't make it.
Because I didn't make it.
And my guess is you didn't have any trekking poles.
No.
Which would have helped. Particularly the going down part, which...
Can I just read you part of the description of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which you could have done before you accepted this.
The trail begins just north of the Dreamcatcher chairlift. Interestingly, it will also end at the top of that lift nearly 3 miles later. It begins at an immediate ascent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Straight up.
Yeah.
Big steep hill.
Yeah. Let's see. And then it goes on and on and on, and it says, With no other direction to go, the trail begins a steep assault up the rocky ridge.
Assault.
An assault in the description of the trail.
Rocky.
That's not
An
moderate.
assault. Switchback after switchback brings you higher and higher along the ridge, with each emergence back providing grander vistas than the last.
That's not moderate.
It says assault right there.
So again, I
So-
would ask this to your sister,
Yeah.
Mikkel. Why didn't she look out over the assembled group and say, "Oh, Gina,
Yeah.
not for you"?
I felt better because there were a few other people that kept saying, this doesn't feel like a moderate
See,
hike,
that's
does it?
that's my problem with this whole thing.
So, and you'll see, Dylan put it up at x96.com/live. So this morning, I looked it up. I don't know if you guys can see it right there, but it says, what kind of hike does it say there? The first brown square. What does that say? Does that say moderate?
Strenuous.
It says strenuous.
Strenuous. See, it's your sister's fault.
She's a liar.
It's your
I went
sister's
on-
fault.
And I didn't go on a 3-mile strenuous hike. I went on a 6-mile strenuous hike because I almost got to the top and went, yeah, this is not I can't go any further because it gets steeper and rockier as you go up. And the wedding was beautiful.
How do you know? How do you know it was beautiful?
Well, the wedding.
You were
was-
in a daze, weren't you? After that,
I feel misled.
You were misled. You were absolutely misled.
next time I see your sister, she's going to get a tongue lashing from me.
Give her a strenuous
I will
tongue
give
lashing.
her-
Do
I'll-
not give her a moderate tongue
No.
lashing.
I will wag my finger and give her a strenuous, rocky assault.
Do it. All right.
Crash northbound I-15 at milepost 274. This is in Linden on the right shoulder. Crash westbound SR92 at the I-15 junction. Right lane is closed there. Crash eastbound SR201 74th west. Left shoulder being affected there. Crash northbound I-15 milepost 282 in Lehigh. And looks like that's about it. Haster Games has the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it, 6831 South State, and online at hastergames.com.
All right, so we'll take a break. We'll be back with Bill Frost telling us what's on TV after these.
Hey, party people, I'm John Smith, and I have for you every single day a 1-hour nonstop music wingding.
Well, I have a story for Gina to begin the news.
I'm ready.
Well, and I know this is a story that Gina will really like and be interested in because she sent it to me. A man who murdered his niece, a niece who was also his lover, by smashing her. What does that mean?
It's a detail.
Yes, it is.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
And it gets even better, doesn't it,
Yeah.
Gina? He killed her by smashing her over the head with a TV. He's been put in jail.
It's Uncle Lover.
Christopher Wall is his name. Was convicted of battering Haley Wall, who was his niece as well as his lover. He was been ordered to serve a minimum of 14 years behind bars.
Only 14 years?
A minimum.
You
A
kill
minimum.
your niece who you're having an affair with a TV, and that's not automatic forever?
Well, Gina, I don't know where this is exactly. You should know. What town is this
I believe
in?
it's in the UK.
Well, then, you know how liberal they are in the UK. Christopher Wall, it says here he's facing a lifetime behind bars. So it's a minimum of 14. It's 14 to life, I would guess. My guess is they won't let him out for a long, long time. She was found with a bloody head outside a supermarket in Bournemouth after being battered by Mr. Wall. Before she slipped out of consciousness, she was able to tell emergency crews her name and address and that her partner had beaten her. When police visited the home, they found signs of a disturbance on the second floor, including a door on the landing that was knocked off its frame and 2 long dark hairs embedded in a crack hallway up the door with a number of blood spots. Embedded in a crack halfway up the door, I should say. Officers also found a large flat-screen TV at the bottom of the stairs, and there was blood all over the flat-screen TV, and he finally said, yeah, I beat her with the... We were watching the Great British Bake Off, and she pissed me off. So, yeah, there you go. Murdered his niece, who was also his lover.
Niece lover.
On X96, Radio from Hell.
Sponsored?
Radio from Hell
Whoa,
on YouTube's
hey.
original
Whoa, hey.
alternative
Whoa,
X96.
He had an extra one.
Bam!
Okay.
Black Turtle is hiring full-time, part-time customer service representatives with competitive pay, health and welfare benefits, paid training, holidays, vacation time, and no weekend shifts. Apply online today at jointheturtle.com.
All right.
Guess who's here? I'll give you one guess.
Can I
Okay,
guess?
yeah.
Is it Bill Frost?
No,
No?
it's William Frost.
Oh.
Technically, yes.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
Hello. All right.
Yeah, you're right, Gina. It's Bill Frost. He writes for Slug Magazine. He's in a band called Magna Vega, and he is also the host or co-host of the TV Tan podcast. You can find out all about all of that and his beard by going to...
BillFrost.tv.
Correct.
Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah, you did.
Good for me.
What's up?
I have not been deflatformed.
No, you haven't. Not yet. It could happen, though.
Give it time.
Yeah, they're coming for all of us.
I know.
We're still a couple of weeks away from the official fall TV launch.
So they still do that.
Yeah, they're still waiting until like about the third or so week of
which
September.
I just don't get.
let's just do it now.
Why they still have a fall premiere season? I don't understand.
Where they stack them all up in the same week.
People watch TV all the time.
Yep.
They don't stop.
It's just the way they've done it forever, so we can't change.
And new shows get introduced
all the time.
All the time.
In a deluge.
Yeah.
But the TV networks,
they like to do it all at once.
Yeah.
And subsequently, you got shows that are good that won't get seen because of this other thing that's going on at the same time.
That's right. Yep.
It just doesn't make
Can
any
you
sense
fix
to me.
that?
I'll work on it.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some
Yeah.
shows that are being smart and premiering this week, such as American Horror Story on Wednesday. Apocalypse.
I just don't care.
Bill's
I don't
already.
I don't like that show at all. And this
one goes back to Murder House.
This
which
is kind
was,
of a mashup of the first season Murder House, which is probably my favorite, and Coven, the third season. Two of the best seasons.
But you should give this one a chance, Bill.
I don't know. The commercials just look dopey. I don't know.
Yeah. And
there's too many shows.
And pretty much everybody you know is back, including Dylan McDermott and Connie Britton.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in it?
They are in it.
Oh, they
As
are
is
in it.
Jessica Lange.
Yeah.
She's back.
All right.
And everybody you know is back, and don't really know much else about it other than we're talking about the end of the world here.
Yeah.
But
I haven't watched the past couple of seasons.
You're fine.
But I'm going to give this one a chance because I watched both of those seasons.
And they were both very good.
So
yeah. And coming up on Thursday, we've talked about this before, and you still don't believe me. There's a series called Snatch.
No, there isn't.
Yeah. See? Yeah. Based on the movie, of
I don't
course.
believe it.
And it's now in its second season.
No.
On Crackle.
Sure.
Well, there's the problem there.
So if you have the Crackle somewhere, that little orange button,
right,
you can watch that. And
Okay.
some other. I would still recommend Rob Riggle's Ski Master Academy on Crackle, just
sure
because it's ridiculous.
You sure it's not on Acorn?
Not on Acorn, no.
Okay.
Or coming up on Friday, BoJack Horseman, season 5.
Oh, jeez.
He loves BoJack Horseman.
It's a
Why
show-
are you OG'ing it?
Because it's a show I should watch, and I just...
Oh, you're OG'ing yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I should watch it.
It's a too many shows situation.
Yeah, well, eventually you'll get around to it, and I bet you'll love it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty smart, and also a little heartwarming, little heartbreaking on occasion, and it's a cartoon about a horse.
Yeah.
A talking horse.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it initially, but then I started seeing all the TV people who know love it. So
And me.
Well, you're included in that. All the TV people who know love it. I include you in that.
Also on Netflix on Friday, season 2, American Vandal.
What is that?
American Vandal.
It's a joke.
It takes the murder documentary format, the very serious murder documentary format, and applies it to a school prank that's happening at a high school. Last year was the case of penises being painted all over the school.
Oh, okay.
This year there's something involving poop.
Yeah, I don't think I'll watch that.
A lot of people love it. I watched it and I thought this would have been a nice 5-minute YouTube series.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. Okay. Also on Netflix, big day for Netflix, Norm Macdonald Has a Show.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, it is.
Is
It's
it-
Norm Macdonald at a desk talking to guests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a proper talk show.
Sort of. It's like one guest per show.
Oh, okay.
I liked his. I remember liking his sitcom fairly well.
Which one? He had several.
I don't know.
There were
Norm?
several.
Well, there
It
was more than
called
just Norm?
That's the only one I remember. But he was some kind of bureaucrat.
Oh, okay. I don't remember which one that is, but the guest list includes people like Drew Barrymore, David Spade, Judge Judy, David Letterman. Anybody under 60 here? M. Night Shyamalan. That'd be an interesting interview.
It's on. They tell me it's on Netflix. I don't know what time it's on.
Yeah, what time's your podcast on?
It's right in there though.
I think he'd have a hard time doing a talk show because sometimes he's kind of wandery in how he
try to stay in focus.
Yeah,
That'll be interview gold there.
okay,
That-
I guess.
And coming up on Sunday on Showtime, season 3 of The Circus, Inside the Greatest Political Show on Earth. It's a documentary series. This time they're following the midterm elections and it's make you not really love politics any more than you already do.
I don't love it.
It's the sausage getting made.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And the first season was pretty harrowing inside the 2016 election. This year, we don't know where it's going to end up either.
Yeah.
And also new seasons of Shameless and The Deuce on Sundays.
When does Shameless start?
Last night.
Oh, it started last night.
Yeah.
And The Deuce is still on?
Yeah. Only its second season.
Really?
I
I feel like it's been around
Carrie's
a lot
already
longer.
over it.
It
It's the ninth
feels,
season.
yeah.
I'm not. I don't watch it because I tried to watch it a little bit, and
Is it because you have two James Francos?
yeah, and I don't want even one James Franco.
Two James Francos with mustaches, no less.
I like what's her name quite
Maggie
a bit.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, she was good. She is good, but James Franco you can have him because I don't want him.
Also,
He's
this
too Franco for me.
You can take him. This new Jim Carrey series started last night as well. Kidding?
Yeah, what was that
He's a
like?
troubled kids show
Did you
host.
watch it?
I did.
What's it like?
It's slow.
Oh boy.
Isn't Jim Carrey kind of gone over?
It's the same guy who worked with him on Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, so it's got a little bit of that feel where it's just like we're on a very slow journey here.
I'm going to give it a chance.
It's serious Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a chance because I loved Eternal Sunshine.
It's very low-key Jim Carrey. He's a
But you're right,
Mr. Rogers type.
You're right, Gina. He has lost his mind.
Kinda. I mean,
Yes.
He should just stick to painting.
yeah.
Okay. And yeah, that is your week there.
That's it?
That for now, yeah.
Well, all right.
It's going to get busy here soon.
Have you, I haven't had a chance to, have you watched any of the season 2 of Iron Fist?
Yes, I've watched most of it.
Really?
Yeah.
And?
A little uneven.
Of course.
It's got a lot of Colleen Wing and Misty Knight, which
Good.
is good. Very good.
More of them, less of him is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. They did one thing right. They cut it down this season down to 10 episodes.
Good.
So they're listening. It's like 13 is too many.
Yes. They
Yeah.
always have to pad, and whenever you pad, it winds up getting tedious.
Yeah. So for that, it runs a little tighter.
But they're bringing in one of my favorite, well, she's a Daredevil villain originally. But,
Typhoid Mary.
Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, played by Alice Eve.
I hope that works out.
She's crazy.
She is.
I would recommend to people. It's been on for a while, but you can catch them all. Lodge 49.
AMC. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Stick with it. It's kind of slow and doesn't make sense, but it's charming. It's charming.
That's good enough.
You know what's not charming is this crash. Northbound I-15 approaching Pleasant Grove. 3 cars are off to the right shoulder. Crash southbound I-15 at 114 South and Draper. The right lane and shoulder are blocked, backing traffic into Sandy. Crash on SR-92 in Lehigh is backing traffic onto the main flow of I-15. Drivers are trying to exit at Timpanogos Highway, and they're back to Point of the Mountain. Did I say mountain?
I think so.
Point of the Mountain.
Mountain.
Whatever kind of way. There's so much happening downtown, and now you can find it all in one place. TheBlocksSLC.com. Coming to Abravanel Hall, it's Bernstein on Broadway with the Utah Symphony celebrating the greatest hits and 100th birthday of one of America's most beloved composers. Go to TheBlocksSLC.com.
All right.
And that's greatest hits.
Greatest hits.
All right, we've got Boners Round 2 coming up. Here are your candidates. Boner candidate number 1. This is a complicated boner candidate because there are 3 related stories to this number 1. Snapchatting, cat kicking church vandals. Boner candidate number 2. Murder for hire is one thing, but your mullet is criminal. And boner candidate number 3. Oh, I thought he was doing a Kaepernick.
All right, there we go. Round 2 of your boners coming up. Stand by for that. Brooklinen.com. I have to be very careful how I say it. Brooklinen.com. People are confused sometimes. See, the people that started it live in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
And they're selling linens, bedding and all that. So that's the website. So I got to say it properly. Brooklinen Sheets named the winner of the best of online bedding category in Good Housekeeping. They get rave reviews from Business Insider, and I love my Brooklinen sheets. Their method was to take out the middleman, keep things personal just between them and the customer, from design to manufacturing to customer service and beyond. And it's about how the sheets are made. It's not necessarily about thread count. Go online to their website and they'll explain to you how it works. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. They are so sure you'll love your new sheets that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. The way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use the promo code Jackson, my last name, at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com with the promo code Jackson, Jackson. These really are the best sheets ever.
We want to put $500 in your pocket. Listen to X96 every Thursday at 7:30 a.m. and 5:30. 96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right. Remember that information. You're going to need it. Oh, you're going to need it here in about 15 minutes or so to vote for round 2 of Boners. So right now you're going to get 3 news stories. They are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote. Of these 3, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day? Yeah, if it wins here, it's not Boner of the Day yet. It has to defeat the winner of round 1's voting that we did an hour ago. So we'll throw both winners into Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when you will decide Boner of the Day. So pick your champion for round 2 now. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. And one of you lucky Boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Boner candidate number 1, Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals. Stick with me on this one.
All right.
Spanish Fork, Utah. Story number 1. Vandals caused $5,000 worth of damage at a meeting house for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints last Sunday night or early Monday morning, officials said. The church, located on Spanish Fork Parkway, had serious damage to the interior, according to a Facebook post from Spanish Fork Public Safety. Officials asked those with any information to contact the Spanish Fork Police. Story number 2, posted yesterday. A leaked Snapchat video has led to the arrest of 2 suspects in connection with an incident at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints building in late August. That first story was from late August. That left the church in shambles and resulted in $10,000 in damage. Spanish Fork Police Lieutenant Brandon Anderson said Kevin Hayes and Thomas Anderson, both Spanish Fork residents, were booked into the Utah County Jail for investigation of burglary and criminal mischief. Lieutenant Anderson said a concerned citizen sent police a Snapchat video on September 5th in which Mr. Hayes could be seen walking through the church's gymnasium, which was recognized by police as the one that was vandalized. Damage to the facility, which occurred in the early morning hours of August 27th, included ripped hymnals, pictures removed from walls, and smashed fire extinguishers discharged in the building, and damage done to plumbing fixtures and kitchen appliances. Police said that Mr. Hayes is seen in the Snapchat video with an individual later identified as Mr. Anderson, laughing and declaring that, quote, "We just," profanity, "upped a church." I believe it would be effed up a church.
What's the filter for that?
Lieutenant Anderson said both individuals admitted to police that they'd been in the church, but each blamed the other for the vandalism.
He made me do it.
And then
I told him not.
Underneath that, it said, more stories you might be interested in. And I clicked on it. And the story that came up was Spanish Fork man charged in cat punching case.
Good Lord.
It's 20-year-old Mr. Anderson.
Oh, really?
Mr. From January, a Spanish Fork man punched somebody else's cats in January over 2 days, forcing one of the pets to have jaw surgery. It was Thomas Anderson of Spanish Fork.
Same guy.
So that was back in January.
Go Dons.
Who was charged with 4th District Court last month in connection with January 2nd and 3rd incidents in Orem. He faces 2 counts of torturing a companion animal. He was held briefly in the county jail. The person whose pets he allegedly abused told police Mr. Anderson also holds the cats underwater.
Oh.
Anderson last year pleaded guilty to attempted theft and failing to stop for police. Police say he stole a car.
I almost said a bad word on the radio.
Yeah, he needs to be locked up.
Boner candidate number 1. Snapchatting, cat-kicking, Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals. That's number 1. Boner candidate number 2. You know, murder for hire is one thing, but your mullet is criminal. Oklahoma's eccentric big cat breeder, Joe Exotic, has been charged with hiring hitmen to kill the operator of a Florida animal sanctuary, according to reports. One of the hitmen was an undercover FBI agent. In Oklahoma indictment charges. Mr. Exotic was arrested Thursday in Gulf Breeze, Florida. You can go to x96.com/live, or you could perhaps go to x96.com and look at our page there.
There's a lot of reasons to be concerned with that mugshot.
Yeah, you know, hiring a hitman is illegal, but that mullet is criminal.
Yeah.
Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Oh, I thought he was doing a Kaepernick.
All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by.
Now at Del Taco, you can mix and match 2 of 5 classic burritos for just $5.50. Get 2 handmade burritos like the classic chicken and Del combo, freshly made for $5.50 only at Del Taco. Participation may vary.
So, the Emmys have not been held yet.
I thought they were last night.
What Emmys? There were some Emmys last night.
There were some Emmys last night, but not the Emmys. Just months after his death. That's why I thought it was weird we didn't see. So just months after his death, Anthony Bourdain won multiple posthumous Emmy Awards for his television work. Last night, 2 of the Creative Arts Emmy Awards.
Oh, okay.
Bourdain won the honor for outstanding writing for a nonfiction program and outstanding information series or special, according to Deadline. His CNN series, Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown, took home additional wins for picture editing, sound editing, mixing. Anthony Bourdain Explore Parts Unknown, the series' online component, named Outstanding Short-Form Nonfiction or Reality Series.
So the actual primetime Emmys are the 17th.
Yeah, the primetime Emmys are the 17th. That's why I thought it was weird. I thought you guys said... I said, were the Emmys last night? You said, yeah, I thought, why didn't I see more about it? Because nobody, they haven't.
Yeah, they were part of the Emmys for us.
Mm-hmm.
The part that people care the least about. Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle recently took their romance to the swamps.
Ew.
Where I guess they were trying to drain it. They're trying to drain something. The photographic evidence is something else. The conservative heavyweights headed to Louisiana to help raise money for a local Republican campaign, which included an annual $5,000 per head alligator hunt. Photos of Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle's gator hunt show the hunters making gator gumbo and smiling for the camera next to cooked alligators. The alligator hunting was the name of the game as conservatives gathered to raise money for Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry. These people are all just loathsome.
They are the worst.
According to the event website and social media posts shared by the attendees, in a Facebook video posted by one of the guests, Guilfoyle can be seen praising Landry in a speech before the hunting commenced. She called the Republican a real winner and teased Trump Jr. that she was expecting him to bag some gators during the big event. Mama needs a new pair of boots, she said. These are horrible people.
Yes.
Judging from her Instagram post of the event, it looks like Trump Jr. more than delivered. And then there's a picture of them with a big pot of gator gumbo. Well, we've witnessed it. We've breathed it. The state has charted it. Graphs presented to the Utah Air Quality Board this week will give you a sense of the pollution impact from wildfires as measured by the state air monitoring stations. In June, before many of the fires raged, PM 2.5, or small particulate, which makes up much of the pollution seen in the air, was well below the EPA standard of exceedance. But in August, spikes were evident in 24-hour data from Brigham City, Ogden, Salt Lake, Linden, and especially Spanish Fork, just 15 miles away from the Coal Hollow fire that started on August 4 and burned for weeks. On August 9, PM 2.5 in Spanish Fork reached nearly double the EPA limit of 35 micrograms per cubic meter of air. Utah has had too many days above federal pollution guidelines. EPA set standards for particulate and ozone, said Bo Call, Utah Air Monitoring Manager, and right now we don't meet either of those standards. And so you know what's going to happen? Nothing.
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Except maybe the Trump administration will decide that the standards are too stringent and roll them back.
Well, they're anti-business, Bill. You know, it hurts business.
The group Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment said some things are getting better, some things are getting worse. Emissions from industrial sources and wood burning are the most toxic. Actually, I think emissions from automobiles are getting somewhat better. But wood burning and industrial toxins are not.
But the new administration is rolling back those fuel efficiency
and coal
things and coal, so it's just going to keep getting worse. You know, and then they talk about how we want to regulate state by state, which is a great idea because, you know, the air stops at the border. It just
there's a wall that goes all the way up to the moon.
Exactly. That way, that one state, they can pollute as much as they want, and it won't affect the state next to it. You know?
Pollution is fungible. 4 days of confirmation hearings for U.S. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh ended Friday with Utah's Republican senators ripping Democrats' theatrics and predicting the judge will soon become a justice.
Ew.
Senator Hatch's office summed up the proceedings this way. In more than 30 hours of public hearings, members of the Senate Judiciary Committee questioned Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh on a wide range of issues in an effort to determine his fitness to serve, his evaluation, to evaluate his qualifications, and to better understand his judicial philosophy. Just kidding. That's only a small fraction of what happened. Hatch goes on in the statement to list 5 of the most ludicrous examples where theatrics trumped truth during the hearings.
Can I guess which one of them was, Bill? Wherein he called birth control abortion-inducing?
Yeah, abortion-inducing drugs.
Was that one of the things Hatch was talking about? Because I would agree with him on that one.
No.
How about when it was pointed out that he lied in a previous Senate testimony about his involvement in past administrations?
No.
Wasn't that?
No. You guys must have been watching a different hearing than Hatch was.
Apparently.
He was there. A Louisiana town is banning the purchase of all Nike products.
Well, that'll show
do that.
No, they're not doing it for the town's residents. They're doing any purchases that the town makes.
Okay,
we will use no city funds to purchase Nike products because of this Colin Kaepernick thing.
Were they buying shoes for all of the city employees?
Well, you know, there are certain things that you buy. Cindy McCain was celebrated as an honorary captain of the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday after the death of her husband, the late Senator John McCain. McCain joined the NFL team during its game against the Washington Redskins. In her first public appearance since her husband's funeral earlier this month, she was welcomed on the field by the Cardinals captains for the opening coin toss, including wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, longtime friend of the McCain family, and she actually called several plays. No, she didn't. The coin toss went in favor of the Cardinals, and they said, well, she's a good luck charm. Obviously, we're going to keep her on the bench for the entire season. They didn't say that either. And then finally, this is for you, Gina, a story for you.
Okay.
Romance novelist in Oregon is accused of murdering her husband in a plot that could have been taken from one of her drama-filled books. Nancy Crampton Brophy, who writes about finding love and the difficulty of making it stay, was arrested Wednesday for allegedly gunning down her spouse, Daniel Brophy, at the Oregon Culinary Institute in Portland. Her 63-year-old husband was a beloved teacher at the culinary school, where he was fatally wounded June 2nd in the kitchen. Crampton Brophy faces charges of murder and unlawful use of a firearm. The Hell on the Heart novelist said on her personal website that she looks to her own personal life for inspiration for her books.
What's her next book called? I Murdered the Chef?
Murder at the Culinary School. In writing fiction, you dig deep and unearth portions of your own life that you have forgotten or purposely have buried deep, her author page says.
Now, her mugshot, if you just show me that mugshot and you said, is this woman a romance novelist or someone who murdered her husband, I would say murdered her husband. I would not have guessed romance
I would have said
novelist.
both.
You would have said both?
I would have said a romance novelist that murdered her husband.
You can see, okay.
Yeah. It's the jowls.
Yeah.
It's the jowls. All right, that's it.
Weather, traffic, sports, whatever you want to do.
Weather, it's going to be hot, but should be windy later, which will hopefully blow some of the smoke out of the air. 91 for a high. And traffic, friend of the program says the free mattress is still available, Highway 89 in South Ogden. So,
But it's getting kind of beat up, though.
no, but it's free. Crash northbound I-15 at 73rd South, off to the right shoulder. Crash westbound I-215 8th East, left shoulder affected there. Congestion southbound I-15 at SR92 exit in Utah County. Crash southbound I-15 114th South in Salt Lake. That's traffic.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Oh, I thought he was doing a Kaepernick. A veteran has apologized after he mistakenly thought that the Hoke County High School drum major was protesting the national anthem. It happened during the marching band's performance at the school's football game August 31st. Sports broadcaster and military veteran Hal Nunn recorded it live, took a picture, and posted it on Facebook. First thing that came in my mind, because you hear all of this stuff nationally about the football players in the NFL, said Nunn. He said he thought that the drum major was protesting like Collard and Kaepernick. It frustrated me. I felt a little bit of disrespect as a military member, said Mr. Nunn. But in a statement, the school's band director says it was just part of a performance. The drum major was kneeling with his heart crossed to honor those who had served. And that's when veteran Mr. Nunn issued an apology. I sincerely 100% apologize to anyone, especially the drum major and his family, of what I witnessed and interpreted as disrespect to our national anthem and U.S. flag. He went on to say he deleted the original social media and post about the incident. I truly hope that both sides can understand we must learn from situations like this and move on. Somebody should apologize to Colin Kaepernick.
This is all getting so out of hand.
Boner candidate number 3. Oh, I thought he was doing a Kaepernick.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals. What a convoluted story this turned out to be. Vandalizing the church in Spanish Fork, Snapchatting video about it, and then somebody leaks the video to the cops, and then it turns out that one of the guys who had done the vandalism and is in the video had been arrested earlier in the year for punching a cat. Boner candidate number 2, murder for hire is one thing, man, but your mullet is criminal. Federal officials indicting an Oklahoma big cat breeder in a murder for hire scheme. Well, that's illegal, but his mullet is just criminal. And boner candidate number 3, oh, I thought he was doing a Kaepernick.
All right, here we go. This is round 2 of your boner voting. You've got to decide which one of these 3 is the worst and therefore most deserving to move forward to boner fights and possibly become boner of the day. Who wins here, it goes up against the winner of round 1. We did that an hour ago. Boner fight will happen at 9:20. So pick your candidate now. Pick your champion for round 2. 1, 2, or 3. Put that number in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Or you can go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting September 10 and vote there. All right. You got 4 minutes. That's it. Let's go. This is round 2.
X96 is Utah's original alternative.
Lair. Spell it with me now. L-A-I-R. Lair. And now we'll use it in some dialogue featuring our 2 good Utah friends, LeVar and LeGrand. LeGrand is planning a wedding for one of his many daughters. LeVar has come over to LeGrand's house to borrow a cup of sugar when this conversation ensues.
LeGrand? LeGrand, where are you? Can I come in? Yep. Back here in the kitchen, LeVar. Come on back.
What in heaven's name are you doing, Legrand?
Well, as you know, Lavore, my little girl Tabiona is getting married this weekend.
Right.
Well, I'm putting on a wedding, and it ain't easy or inexpensive for that matter. I'm saving myself some money by making the wedding cake myself.
You can make the cake cheaper than the ones you can get at Horman's? You know, the ones that come with the plastic balloons or rainbows on them?
Oh, yeah. And I can make a bigger wedding cake, too, for half the price.
Huh.
I found a recipe here in my old copy of the Ensign. How to make a big wedding cake for cheap. Look here at the picture. It's a 7-layer cake.
Boy, howdy, that is a beaut. How many layers is it?
7.
7?
1 more than 6, 1 less than 8. 7 layers.
Looks yummy. Hey, what's in each layer?
Sugar and Lord.
Good Lord, Legrand. That ain't 7 layers, that's only 2.
Listen up, Lavore. I mix some Lord with some sugar to make the Lord sweet. I put that between each one of the cake layers to sort of glue them together, and then I cover the whole thing, all 7 layers, with another huge glop of Lord mixed with sugar, except that's dyed pink. Hence, a 7-layer cake.
Oh. Well, what's the decoration you put on that then? Like candy hearts or them little silver BBs or anything like that?
No, but we got an old Barbie and Ken doll dressed up in wedding clothes. One of the little kids is making a cute gazebo-type thing out of Play-Doh. We're putting that on the top layer. It's going to look like a real wedding cake.
Oh. Hey, who's your little girl marrying, anywho? What's his line of work?
Well, he's a nice young man from Magna named Laurent. He's a bricklayer.
with geek news specialist Kerry Jackson.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Time to award round 2 of your boner.
And round 2 of the boner voting brought to you by,
in part
by some cauliflower.
Just
roasted.
Okay, I was going to say, what'd you do to it? Was it just sitting there?
It was roasted.
Okay. And Quarters, Salt Lake's retro arcade bar featuring pinball, arcade games, console gaming, board games, punk rock vinyl nights, offering a wide selection of craft brews, cocktails, and affordable drink options. Follow Quarters on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or go to quarterslc.com.
So, boner candidate number 1 was Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals. Spanish Fork. 2 guys vandalizing a church, a Mormon church in Spanish Fork, vandalizing it, talking about it on Snapchat video. That got leaked to the police. And then it turns out one of the guys on that video has also been charged with punching a cat earlier this year. And really not a nice guy in the slightest.
Lock him up.
Number 2, murder for hire is one thing, but your mullet, sir, is criminal. Big cat breeder Joe Exotic trying to hire some hitmen to kill a rival. Well, that's against the law, but the mullet that Mr. Exotic has, he should be locked up for that and no other reason. And boner candidate number 3, I thought he was doing a Kaepernick. A veteran and a sports announcer at a high school game when a drum major and the school band took a knee in the middle of the field as part of the the band routine choreography. He was upset. He thought he was imitating Colin Kaepernick and disrespecting the anthem and the flag. No, it was part of the routine. It was meant to be respectful. Carla won the boner T-shirt, and the winner by 1 vote, boner candidate number 1, Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals.
All right, that's your winner of this round. It goes up against the winner of round 1's voting. And we'll throw both of those winners into the Boner Dome at 9:20, and that's when you will decide Boner of the Day with Boner Fight coming up.
Geek News on the Radio is always brought to you by our friends at Cabin Fever. Massive lava lamps, vintage lunchboxes, classic toys, unconventional books, rubber ducks, abhorrent cards, all illuminated under a neon pink sky. Cabin Fever in the heart of Trolley Square, 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, let your imagination run wild.
All right. There is a brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now.
So is this your live show over the weekend or a different one?
The episode today is called Live at Fan X.
All right.
So it was our panel in room 250A on Friday. We just recorded the thing and bringing it to you. So if you've never been to a Comic-Con panel, especially a Geek Show Comic-Con panel, you can experience it in your ear holes.
It's kind of different, isn't it, because you don't drink?
Here's the thing. Usually, when we do these panels at the Salt Palace, our fans bring us booze. Oh. This is the first year they did not.
Oh, I wonder why.
You had an expectation of booze?
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
I wonder why. Just
don't know. I don't know whether security was better this year. I don't know, but they didn't bring us booze. But I will say this: there was nudity. That was a first.
There what?
You're Shannon again?
No.
Oh.
There was audience nudity.
Audience nudity.
And that's all I'm going to say. You'll just have to listen to the episode to find out. I'll tell you some more stories about FanX later. But this is an interesting little story that I found over the weekend. Because that new Spider-Man PlayStation 4 game is out, and everybody's raving about it. And it looks great, and it's the people who have told me about it, it's made me want to go and get a PlayStation. Because I'm just Xbox, and the game is only available on PlayStation.
But you're a Spider-Man guy.
I like the Spider-Man games, and they're a lot of fun. And so I was tempted to get it. But anyway, this new Spider-Man video game that is out was a Spider-Man fan who asked to have a marriage proposal put into the new Spider-Man video game. And he got his wish. Back in May 2018, Tyler Schultz sent a tweet to Insomniac Games, the studio behind the game, with a request. He wanted to propose to his girlfriend in the video game. So in the game...
They did it?
In the game, there's a marquee, like a movie marquee, And Spider-Man stopped, look at it, and says, Maddie, will you marry me? On the movie marquee outside of a building. Problem is...
They broke up, didn't they?
She dumped him about 3 weeks before the game came out. And so now it's the saddest little Easter egg in the world in that game. Yeah.
My sister and I went out this weekend and bought a PlayStation 4 and the Spider-Man game. We split it. So if you want to come up to the house and play Spider-Man, let me know.
How is it?
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
It's a lot of fun.
Now, Insomniac games, they... because when you play these games, a lot of times there's online content, and they said that you can, they will send out a patch soon on the network to remove that. And the guy said, well, how about something about my grandmother because she died recently? How about that? And they said, okay, we'll do something.
No, I wouldn't do that. She might come back to life.
You never know.
This is bad.
You never know.
Karma.
I thought that was funny. Let's see, Samuel L. Jackson. Now, this could be potential spoiler area, just in case.
Okay.
So if you,
Spoiler of what?
if you're absolutely avoiding spoilers for the Captain Marvel movie, you may want to tune away for just a few moments. While chatting with Entertainment Weekly about his digitally de-aged role of young Nick Fury in the Captain Marvel movie, he shared how much he's had to rethink the character because the Fury that we know and love is very cynical and all of that. And he says that the young Nick Fury would be more optimistic. So he's had to play it differently. It says Fury isn't an eye patch wearing cynic who scoffs at authority and prefers making his own teams. He's a doe-eyed and bushy-tailed S.H.I.E.L.D. employee, a bureaucrat who respects the chain of command and doesn't know about the bigger world of aliens, superheroes, and magic.
Is that doe-eyed or dual-eyed?
Doe-eyed.
Dual in this case because he hasn't lost his eye patch. Yeah. Let's see. That is until he meets Brie Larson's Carol Danvers. Here's the spoiler part.
Yeah?
The part Kree, part human hero who becomes Captain Marvel. That's different from the comics, I think. Because they said they were going to change her origin a little bit to adapt it for the movie. The encounter inspires him not only to expand his horizon, but also indirectly leads him down a path to creating the Avengers in the first place. He says this is a mind-changing, attitude-changing moment for him that leads him to become the person that we know. He understands that there are these other things out there. He understands that they're not all enemies, and we do need to find allies that have specific kinds of skills that humans don't have, and trying to convince people above him is a difficult task because they haven't seen it or experienced it. So we do know that he will be the young Nick Fury in this, and there will be young Agent Coulson, Phil Coulson, played by Clark Gregg, probably in a de-aged role, or we'll see.
Okay.
Because maybe Agent Coulson is a robot or something.
Now you're just saying stuff.
Now I'm just saying stuff. All right. Let's see. Now there's this. Have you heard of Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a Archie comic.
And a TV show. And one of the fixtures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch is her familiar.
Right.
Which is Salem, a half-human, a human, excuse me, who was turned into a cat against his will.
And he talks.
And he talks. Well, unfortunately, the bond between Witch and Kitty may not be very magical in the new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina coming to Netflix. Sabrina star Kiernan Shipka, whom you know as Don Draper's daughter on Mad Men.
Go to your room, Sally.
She got to be really pretty.
And she's Sabrina in this show. She said there was a bit of drama between the scenes, behind the scenes, during the first month on set. She broke out in hives after picking up one of the 5 cats that play Salem. This is how she found out that she is allergic to cats.
Wait a minute. That's the first time she's been around a cat?
I guess.
Ever?
I guess. In the 1990s TV show Sabrina, Salem stuck to Sabrina like syrup on pancakes.
The Drapers didn't have a cat.
No. In that version, he was a warlock dictator who tried to take over the world, but became a lot cuddlier thanks to a 100-year sentence as a cat. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. He's a teenager who was turned into a familiar after impregnating a witch and refusing to marry her.
Hold on there.
So that's how it's going to be a little bit different.
Are they going to recast him as one of those hairless cats?
I don't know.
So she can be around him?
I don't know. Well, there you go.
It's going to be voiced by Don Draper. John Hamm.
Crash on westbound I-215 at the top of the on-ramp from Union Park. The left lane and both shoulders are blocked. Delays stretch back to 20th East. We've got congestion southbound I-15 at SR 92 exit in Utah County. Crash northbound I-15 73rd South in Salt Lake, right shoulder affected there. Crash westbound I-215 at 8th East. And looks like that's about it. That's traffic.
All right, thank you very much.
I bet you're tired of messing around with your glasses and your contact lenses.
Everybody is.
Yeah, I'm not, because I don't do it anymore.
Exactly.
You're not, because you don't do it.
Because I don't do it anymore.
No.
Oh, man, I was so glad to get rid of my glasses and then my contacts.
That's because Hoops Vision did the LASIK procedure. Hoops Vision, right now, if you call 877-30-LASIK or visit them online at hoopsvision.com, that's HOOPES vision.com, you can get $800 off your all laser LASIK procedure. $800 off. And that's remarkable.
I don't know how much longer this deal is going to be in effect, do you?
I don't know. It doesn't
That's
say.
why I'm thinking you probably want to call today.
Yeah, it doesn't say. So if you want to get rid of your glasses, your contacts, take it from us. We've done it. Most of our family members have tried it, and it's been great. All laser LASIK at Hoops Vision. They have financing plans as well. Call them. It's a free, no obligation appointment. The number again, 877-30-LASIK. That's LASIK. Or go to the website, HOOPES, hoopsvision.com.
X96 presents the final night of the Salt Lake Community College Twilight Concert Series.
Line. Spell it with me now. Line. And we'll use it now in some dialogue featuring our good friends LeVar and LeGrand. Imagine, if you will, the boys have gotten together for lunch at the High Spot Cafe. The word again is line.
Well, this is good postum here to the High Spot, LeVar.
Look, the words good and postum never go together, LeGrand. Now, the coffee here is mighty fine, but don't tell me there's any difference in any postum you get anywhere. It's all horse pee.
Well, I like it. And that actor guy sure must have gotten rich off on us Utahns when he invented this caffeine-free beverage. Yeah, that Tom Postum has always been funny on the Newhart shows, and he's made a great all-weather beverage, too.
Whoa. Whoa. Now this song sure brings back the memories. I didn't know they had Madonna music on the jukebox here.
Well, why does it bring back memories for you, LeVar? Do you remember what you was doing the first time you heard the song?
Heard it? Hell, I helped Madonna write it.
Uh-huh. And I had tea with the Queen of England the other day.
I ain't lying, LeGrand. Me and Madonna had kind of a thing for a couple of months back in '87. I guess you could say Madonna was my girlfriend.
Do tell.
If I'm lying, I'm dying, LeGrand. Yep. Miss Chacon and me, that's a real name, you know, was sitting in the breakfast nook one morning after a night of truth or dare, if you know what I mean. So anyway, the phone rings. Madonna answers it and says, "Hey, LeVar, honey, the phone's for you." I said, "Who's that girl?" And the rest is history.
You're lying, LeVar. You're lying through your tobacco-stained teeth.
If I'm lying, then what do you call this?
Yeah. It's a picture of you and Madonna sitting in a breakfast nook.
Yep.
Why, looky there. You got matching pajamas with little horses on them.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying at all. That's really her.
Yep. She'll always be my material girl.
Well, what happened? Why did you break up?
I dumped her.
Why in the heck did you do that?
Well, did I ever tell you about me and Tori Spelling? The Beck Show is on a Saturday night.
Oh, we can go there.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I might go.
It's not. Do you know I haven't seen Beck since he played our Big S show a million years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was just talking about you the other day. We were having coffee.
Were you and Beck?
He said, I haven't seen, he said, I haven't seen Gina for, I don't think it's been since the fairgrounds. I said, that's funny.
Then he said, Salt Lake City.
It's Makeout
City.
Anyway.
So.
Yes.
Couple of things. First of all, I should mention, and it's been on our Twitter, I think, over the weekend, but we had Piff, the Magic Dragon, here in the studio last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's a comedian, magician, and he was at Wise Guys last weekend, 4 shows, and I think shows did very well. So he does these video vlogs, they say.
Oh, does he still do those?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he did one about Salt Lake, and he mentioned us in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very favorably and nice. I know I retweeted it.
I'll have to go. I'll go take a look at that.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I retweeted his video.
I'm going to RFH Bill right now.
At RFH Bill. It's like a little 5-minute video. He's funny. He mentioned another radio station here in the building that he was on. Then he talked about us, and then he went to do a TV thing, and he was kind of dismissive of the TV thing. And he's really not. He's funny.
Very funny.
Very funny. Very nice.
I hear he does a great show.
I always thought dragons were scary, but he's not scary.
And then I did want to just thank everybody for Friday. We did that Out of the Darkness show at 9:00. It was all of the Broadway media stations, and had a lot of feedback on that, and people saying that it was beneficial to them, and they liked it, and so I'm glad we glad we did it. And don't forget, the walk is on this coming Saturday at Liberty Park, starting about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And then the show is available now, The Let's Go Eat Show, at theletsgoeatshow.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Gail Ruzicka and Steve Urquhart. Now, you remember Steve used to be a Utah State legislator. He was in the House and in the Senate. 12 years, I think, he spent in the Utah State legislature as a Republican. He now refers to himself as a washed-up politician.
Oh.
He is in favor of Proposition 2, medical marijuana. Gail Ruzicka, who I've never I think I met her once. I've never been able to interview her, talk to her.
We've tried over the years.
Yeah, we've asked her.
She agreed to come in and sit down and do the Let's Go Eat show. She's very much against Proposition 2. As a matter of fact, the Eagle Forum paid for part of that ad that ran that our media group here pulled. We pulled that ad that was had a bunch of
inaccuracies.
Yeah, inaccuracies about Proposition 2, saying that medical marijuana was already available in Utah, and a doctor's prescription, you could already get medical marijuana over the counter, which is not true.
Yeah. So
Steve and Gail sat down, and I sort of moderated a discussion between them, and you can get it right now, the letsgoeatshow.com or wherever you find podcasts. Pretty interesting because she is so single-minded about this, and it's fascinating to me. And I was not, I was not mean to her or anything about it, but I would try to say, now, but don't you see this? And she, no, absolutely not. No, and I just
there's no swaying her.
No, it's really interesting.
But there's no. I'm sure she would say the same thing about you. She thinks her arguments are reasoned, and that. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I would say, I said to her, and Steve said to her a couple of times, and this makes it sound like, we are the reasonable ones and she's not. But I would say, no, I understand that. I understand this. Oh, and you're right about that. But you are wrong about this.
She's unwilling to budge on anything.
She really is unwilling to budge.
When facts are presented to her.
But she's not.
She has alternative
But
facts.
she's not angry. And she's not mean. She's and I'll bet when she's not talking about any of this stuff and she's with her family and all that, she's really she's great. She's great. It's anyway, go listen to it. The Let's Go Eat show. You can find it wherever fine podcasts are available.
And apparently we have a phone call we need to take quickly.
Somebody named Ken. Who is Ken?
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 Hey.
Hey, right you
How
are,
you
Ken.
doing?
Good. Ken, why are we talking to you, Ken?
Well, you may not remember me, but hopefully you will after this quick history between the two of us.
Okay.
You remember Tom Hall?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was the trainer that came up to your studio and did the live broadcast with him.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I just was calling because I just moved back to Utah 2 nights ago, and I'm so excited to be able to listen to your station on the radio and not have to rely on my crappy Wi-Fi in Idaho.
Well, welcome back.
So what people may remember back in the day.
Want me to come up there and kick your butt?
Oh, there he is.
That's Tom.
Good old Tom.
Tom was a guy who from Utah County down in Provo. He had some disabilities, and but for some reason started listening to our radio station down there. And would call us and say, I want to hear the Cranberries.
Everybody hurts. I want to hear REM. Everybody.
And he'd call and yell at us. And we did a fundraiser for him once. And he was really an interesting guy. When we finally met him, he was kind of cross-eyed.
Yep.
Yeah, and we were sad to hear. And I think maybe, Ken, you were the one who told us ultimately that he had passed on.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carrie, can I hear that one more time?
You want to hear that one?
Want me to come up there and kick your butt?
Yeah. Well,
Good.
You sound just like Tom.
That is Tom.
That's Tom.
I saved those recordings.
Goodbye.
Well, yep, he was a good guy to work with. I enjoyed working with him and other people with his disabilities also.
Yeah, and he read to children. I remember you tell that was his. He liked to do that. Well, Ken, nice to hear from you. I'm glad you're back.
Welcome back.
You still in that line of work?
No.
All right.
Okay.
I'm actually looking for work right now, but no, after that I went into more corporate and was a corporate HR director.
Well, if you have any corporate HR work that you can send Ken's way, nice to hear from you. Stay in touch.
I will. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for all these many years.
Sure. Right. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Want me to come up there and kick your butt?
I'm glad we have a little Tom left.
A lot of people. We should dig up a picture of Tom and.
I know we had one on the Radio from Hell Facebook page a long time ago. I'll see if I can find it.
All right, we got boner fight coming up, along with a reasonable amount of news before that.
Maybe Ken, who's moved back here to Utah, maybe he's looking for a new home and a mortgage.
Yeah.
Ran Life.
You could certainly go to Ran Life.
Yeah.
RanLife.com.
Yeah.
You can get most of your questions answered at the website, but they do like to hear from you.
New build homes are everywhere right now, which is great because, there are a lot of people looking to buy. And there's been a shortage of homes, but boy, they're sure going up. Ran Life wants to let you know if you're about locking your rate. So they can lock your rate for 270 days. That's about 9 months, which is really unheard of. So if when you start building your house, it's going to take a while, and rates are rising. So let's say you're going to start building right now. You get Ran Life to be your mortgage lender. They'll lock the rate right now, even though the house isn't finished. Does that make sense?
I understand.
Yeah.
And that's a very great service, a good deal.
With rates on the rise, they'll lock it for 270 days. So even if you're closing in less than 9 months, they have options that'll lock your rate now. Take full advantage. Call them, 801-478-4500. That's 801-478-4500, or go to their website, ranlife.com. September is Suicide Awareness Month. X96 and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention invite you to attend the Out of the Darkness Walk at 9 a.m. on Saturday, September 15th at Liberty Park in Salt Lake City. Suicide qualifies as an epidemic, and Utah has one of the highest suicide rates in the country. Join me, Bill Allred, on September 15th to work together and help put an end to suicide.
Scott. Spell it with me now, S-C-O-T-T. And now we'll use it in some dialogue with our two Utah men, LeVar and LeGrand. LeGrand has been invited over to LeVar's trailer house for lunch. Again, the word is Scott. Come on in, LeGrand. Door's open, and our delicious repast is about to begin. I hope you brought some drinks for us.
Well, I did indeed, LeVar. I bought the whole 6-pack of caffeine-free Diet Sam's Choice Cola from the Walmart. Didn't have no way of chilling it, though. Hope you have smice.
Well, fridge's been busted for a few months now. I've learned to appreciate my cola beverages at room temperature.
Well, that's just fine with me, too. I'm always sneaking a cola from down in the food storage room so as Midge won't know I got a bit of an addiction. You see, we keep the caffeinated stuff in the food storage on the theory that in the event of a nuclear catastrophe, we'll need to stay awake so's we can keep the neighbors from busting in, and so's we'll have plenty of energy to be fruitful and repopulate our wasted planet. If you know what I mean. So what's for lunch?
Beef stew. I helped can it myself. It's Deseret brand beef stew. Because I helped can it, I got a free case from the Bishop's Storehouse.
Ooh, I love the sound of canned stew boiling up on the range. Smells pretty good, too.
That's because Scott All Natural Garden and Beef Ingredients. Look here at that list of nutritious stuff that comes in this one can. Scott carrots, peas, taters, onions, chunks of beef, and some beef byproducts.
Ooh, that's good. Oh, but looky here. This Deseret brand beef stew's got 23 grams of fat per serving. This stew's got more fat in it than 9 strips of bacon, LeVar.
Bacon, that sounds good. Let's fry up some strips of bacon to go with our stew. You know, bacon's got an essential ingredient in it that you can only get from a few foods, you know. Foods like bologna and hot dogs and some canned hams.
Bacon's got something in it that your body needs? What?
Nitrite. It's got nitrite in it. The body needs nitrite to preserve the internal organs.
Well, fry some up then.
Okay.
Hey, you got a raw hot dog or some bologna I can nibble on to tide me over till the stew's on? My big ones is eating my little ones. I'm so hungry.
Anyway, let's pop open a couple of them diet sodas for a toast, LeGrand. To life.
To life.
If we keep eating like this, we're going to live forever.
Part of the Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Remember that info. You're going to need it in about 5 or so minutes. That's when we're going to do Boner Fight and determine Boner of the Day. But right now, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by...
We have a lot of pictures on our Facebook page.
Okay.
I've been scrolling this whole commercial break looking for a picture of Tom. No, that's not what it's brought to you by. It's brought to you by the Urban Arts Fest, September 15th through the 16th at Gallivan Center, the largest free community art event in Utah featuring hundreds of local artists, performers, and musicians. This year's Urban Arts Fest will be headlined by Charlie Tuna. I'm sure I am saying that wrong.
Charlie Tuna? Is that what you said?
Is that it?
I don't know.
Will you find out, Richie? Poor Charlie, I don't want to say it wrong. Go to utaharts.org.
Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has done it again. Another wearying episode in the multi-month-long Musk news cycle by smoking weed on camera with podcast host Joe Rogan.
So you've been smoking hop?
And that apparently sent Tesla stock tumbling and triggered another or more speculation about his capacity to serve as CEO.
How would that affect the stock?
Because business people are
It's
conservative.
confidence. Their confidence in his ability to run the company they get nervous.
He's living in a state where it's legal, recreationally.
They're like, he's making bad choices.
No,
Maybe he will
it's
make
not-
bad choices in the business.
It probably has. See, it may not have anything to do with the fact that he smokes pot. It has everything to do with the fact that he's doing it on camera with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
That's what it has to do with. You know,
Some kind of pipe.
there's plenty of business people who would say, okay, Elon, smoke all the pot you want, just don't do it publicly, which I kind of can understand. The episode may have bigger ramifications over at SpaceX, however, which is a federal contractor.
Now, this was the part I was going to
and
bring up.
privy to classified information like the details of government satellites. Initial reports suggested...
And I'm wondering if they have drug testing at SpaceX.
Well, I don't know.
You know, they test you for drugs. And there's the CEO.
We have friends.
Could be.
We have friends of the program who work there, so we could find out, I'm sure. I was wearing my SpaceX Occupy Mars T-shirt yesterday.
Oh, Axel says SpaceX does not drug test. Okay.
No worries, Air Force. There's a lot riding on it. Just relax, enjoy the ride.
Wonder if any of his other companies do drug testing.
I think it's going to be, Representative Mia Love's campaign has informed the Federal Election Commission that it will refund or redesignate less than half of what the government says was more than $1 million improperly raised for a primary that was never expected to happen, according to documents reviewed by CNN. The commission sent Love a letter in August saying that the Utah Republicans' campaign had violated federal guidelines about money for primaries. In Utah, candidates are not allowed to raise such funds if they have no primary, according to the FEC and experts specializing in election law. On Friday, Love's campaign responded to regulators, telling the Federal Election Commission they would refund or redesignate some, but not all of that money. CNN's K-File reached out to Love, her campaign treasurer, her campaign manager on Thursday about the contributions. They didn't respond. They should have, CNN should have reached out if they'd been the Situation Room reaching out. I'll bet, this is the Situation Room contacting you. They would have responded. In April, Love secured the nomination to seek a third term for her seat in the 4th Congressional District. In Utah, if a candidate receives such a nomination at a convention like Love did, no primary will be held. At no point prior to April's convention did Love face a primary challenger or the threat of one. But she raised over $1 million and designated that money for a primary which never happened.
So can she then use it for
no
something else?
No.
Okay.
Well, According to the letter from the FEC to Love, even after Love secured the nomination of the convention, she raised an additional $372,000 specifically designated for the primary that her campaign knew would not take place. That is a violation of FEC rules. It's a big deal. It's a big deal, said Anne Ravel, who served as FEC commissioner under Obama. If you're raising primary funds and you have no primary, on its face, it does seem to be inappropriate, and it's a lot of money.
Yes.
The FEC's letter to Love's campaign described the problem with the primary funds and said the contributions would have to be refunded or designated for the general election. So you could redesignate the funds.
But
redesignation is a process which funds can be moved to a general election fund so long as it's done within 60 days of receiving the contribution. But all of the donations to Love were made more than 60 days ago.
I was going to say, those are old, aren't they?
So now what happens? Well, Love's campaign lawyers responded on Friday saying they would refund or redesignate contributions, but only those received after she was nominated at the convention. But that's past the 60 days. So essentially she's saying, we'll just do what we want.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure they'll clap her in irons and throw her in jail. Nobody cares about campaign finance violations.
We should just eliminate the Department of Education.
It's not sexy. So
She just has to get reelected so she can go back and eliminate the Department of Education.
I don't know. She never got around to it the first time they sent her there.
By the way, the Republican National Committee, the head of the Republican National Committee admitted Sunday that the GOP's majority in the House is at risk. Because Democrats have the enthusiasm.
Yeah,
but
Democrats have the energy right now, said Rona Romney McDaniel. They thought that they were going to win the White House in 2016. They took their eyes off what they needed to do to win that election, and they're coming back strong in 2018, hoping to flip the majority. Romney McDaniel felt more optimistic that Republicans will retain the Senate, maybe even gain some seats, but she thinks the House is in serious jeopardy.
It only matters who shows up to vote. You can be angry on Facebook all you want, but if you don't vote, it doesn't matter.
As the previous presidential election showed, it doesn't matter who shows up to vote sometimes because Hillary Clinton won the popular vote.
True.
So.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
I hate pointing out the truth. All right, so we had Boner candidate number 1 from the 7 o'clock hour, the winner of that round. And here it is. Thank goodness they left us some candles. A woman igniting a stick of dynamite while trying to light candle. She thought it was a candle. It was a blackout. She said, we don't have any. Oh, I know that couple that lived here before us. They left some candles. And she lit it. It turned out to be a stick of dynamite. Almost blew her hand clean off. This is Boner candidate number 1. You can attribute the Boner candidate, if you like, to a woman not smart enough to know a candle from a stick of dynamite, or the previous tenants who just left a couple of sticks of dynamite laying around. And then Boner candidate number 2, Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals. Vandals causing $5,000 worth at least of damage. No, it was $10,000 at a Spanish Fork Mormon church. Snapchat videoing about it, and then somebody leaking that video to the police. And then it turns out that the 2 guys involved in the vandalism, one of them has been previously charged with kicking a cat, punching a cat. It's that guy at x96.com/live who, when I first saw it, I thought that was a girl, but it's not. It's a young guy. So that's number 2.
There you go. Those are your 2 candidates. One of these will be Boner of the Day. You have to decide which one is the most deserving. This is Boner Fight. 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number, the one you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text. That's all we need in the message of the text. Just that number. Text that to 33986. You can call 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Fight September 10, and vote there. You've only got 4 minutes, though. Let's go. This is Boner of the Day.
John Smith kicks off a 1-hour non-stop music wingding at the conclusion of Radio from Hell on X96.
Cart. Spell it with me now. C-A-R-T. And now we'll use it in some dialogue featuring our two Utah friends, LeVar and LeGrand. Come join the boys now as they drive the highways and byways of our great city, Salt Lake. LeGrand is driving. His friend LeVar is an unwilling passenger. Again, the Utah word is cart. Listen, Mr. Elder LeGrand R. Dunn Jr., I appreciate you driving me to my appointment and all, but you're scaring me to death with the way you're handling this automobile. I think we may die before we get there.
I've been driving this Reliant K car without so much as a fender bender for 8 years now, LeVar. I don't think you have no room to talk about how I drive. Watch out where you're going, you flipping fool!
There, you see, LeGrand, that's just what I mean right there. You cut in front of that guy there, almost rammed into him, and then you honk and yell. It was your fault.
The gall-danged mother flipper saw me signal and just wouldn't move out in the way. He should have moved out in the way.
Look, why don't you just pull over and let me behind the wheel of the K before you give us both ulcers?
Because you haven't a driver's license at this particular junction of time and space. You cannot legally drive. That's why we're driving to the traffic cart, to meet your liar. I have my doubts whether you will get it back, though. You run over a person in a pedestrian crosswalk. Well, the cart isn't going to look on that very favorably.
First off, I didn't run over nobody. I just knocked the guy down. Hell, he jumped right back up, started yelling bloody murder at me, and then it was me that was the one who calmed him down and helped him find most of his teeth. And second off, I fired my liar. He said the best he could do was keep me out of the state pen and in the county log. He weren't no help at all. So I will represent myself in cart.
Well, you know what they say, LeVar. A man who serves as his own liar in cart has a dipstick for a client.
Oh, come on now. Whoever said that?
Smartest liar ever.
Who, F.G. Bailey? Or that Melvin Belly? Maybe it was that Lehigh McKenzie from L.A. Law.
Nope. The smartest liar ever was Perry Mason. Never lost a case in cart.
He was good. Hey, did you ever look at his secretary, that Deli Street, and have impure thoughts?
Yeah, when I was a kid. When I confessed to my church leaders, I was afraid they'd haul me into the bishop's cart.
on X96.
All right, it's time to award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you in part by 3 different kinds of salad.
Wow.
What's your favorite kind of meal?
Well, it really is, and it's because the chicken wasn't done.
Did it ever get done?
Yes, but after I left.
Oh, okay. And Salt Lake Food and Wine Fest, September 11th through the 16th, 17 unique events over 6 days. Join X96 at the big event. Meet your maker on Regent Street, Saturday the 15th. 10 of Salt Lake's greatest chefs roasting beef, lamb, trout, and pork for you. Tastings of over 90 different wines, beers, and spirits. Go to saltlakefoodandwinefest.com.
So boner candidate number 1 was, thank goodness they left some candles. It was the woman who ignited a stick of dynamite while trying to light a candle during a blackout. She thought it was a candle. It was not. It was a stick of dynamite. And then boner candidate number 2, Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals.
There you go.
Vandals causing a whole lot of damage at a church in Spanish Fork. Turns out that they were also, one of them was also a cat abuser. David won a gift card to Quarters, and the winner, boner candidate number 2, Snapchatting, cat-kicking church vandals.
Go Dons. All right, there you go. That is the Boner of the Day for today, September 10. It is now qualified for Boner of the Week. That'll happen on Friday at about this time.
Look, I've got lice.
Yeah. Look, so
It's an adorable little stuffed lice.
It's cute.
Louse.
It's a louse.
It is a louse.
One is a louse.
It would be a louse.
Yes. Listen, we have here from the Lice Clinic of America.
It's kids are back in school, and you need to know this stuff.
Claire Roberts is here. Hi, Claire.
Hi.
CEO of Lice Clinics of America.
That's right.
It's such a great title. I like
Tells
that.
you what it is, doesn't it?
Now, so lice, when kids get lice, back in the old days, I used to just hire a chimpanzee to come into the home to pick the nits, and then we'd burn all the sheets. But things have come a long way, right?
Things have come a long way. That's right. That's right. No shaving heads, no picking lice out of the hair. We have the cure.
Yeah, Gina one time hired a lice, what was she?
The lice lady.
The lice lady.
She came to my house and helped.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what to do with my kids that got lice.
So Claire is here to put the lice lady out of business, essentially.
Well, but I had a misconception because, my kids and my house are aseptically clean, and you think, well, you can't get lice but that's not the case.
That's
my
right.
My house is filthy, and we've actually never had lice in my house. Never had them. So what happens? Why do lice? Where do they come from?
Lice have been around for thousands of years. They opened Pharaoh's tomb, and there was a lice comb in there. So they've been around. They're organisms that can evolve just about anything, including very powerful pesticides, which is why pesticides don't work. The over-the-counter ones you buy don't work anymore. One thing that lice can't do is they can't evolve against dehydration. Just like our bodies are water, theirs are water. And that's what we do. We have a product that was developed by Dr. Dale Clayton at the University of Utah. We use heated air, and we dehydrate and kill the lice in the eggs. The evil eggs are the real root problem. Otherwise, the situation just goes on and on. So the lice ladies came to your house and picked all of the eggs out.
Yeah.
But we have something more efficient, faster, scientific, uses heated air, takes 30 minutes, everything's done. You don't have to pick everything out.
Now, do you have Lice Clinics of America? I assume you can take your kid to a lice clinic, but you're also talking about something you can do at home, right?
Right. So our mission is to provide products for everyone, everywhere, at every budget price point. So it is more expensive to go into one of our clinics and have someone do all the work for you. It's great, and if you can get to a clinic, we have about 300 open. If you can get to a clinic and can afford it, it's great. If you can't, that's why we now launched this month. We launched the One Cure, which is the home version of this really great FDA-cleared, patented heated air product so parents can treat kids at home.
Now, where do you find this and what do you look for?
Find the product or the lice?
Product.
The product? Well,
I know where you find the lice.
You know where you find the lice?
I
Okay.
think in hair.
That's right. That's right. The product is on Amazon. So we have a whole store on Amazon with about a dozen or so products, topical sprays, prevention, the One Cure. You can buy them in our clinics, and you can buy them in select CVS stores.
Okay. So you just look for, you go to Amazon and look for Lice Clinics of America?
Go to Amazon, Lice Clinics of America, and as I said, we have about a dozen products there.
So when you say you're, and we're talking to Claire Roberts, who's CEO of Lice Clinics of America, something that's affordable to every kind of price range. What's the lowest price range? People don't have a lot of money, some people. The lowest price range is the product they're going to get. Is it effective as the people who can afford to go to the clinic?
It is just as effective. It will take more time. So our topical products, which are non-toxic, no pesticides, you do need to treat twice in a 10-day period. But we guarantee that they work. Those are about $20.
That's not bad.
So, yeah,
because I bought the pesticide stuff before.
It
for
doesn't
my
work
kids,
anyway,
and that's about
it's about
what,
the same price.
yeah.
But if you, as I like to use as an example, with a family of 4, you can buy our One Cure heated air device, which you can hang on to if you unfortunately get it again. And then you can buy these the applicator tips to do each different person, and then it's about $50 a person for a family of 4. But it takes only an hour, and you're done.
Cool.
Yeah.
So people want to find out more about this, Claire. How do they do it?
Go to our website. It's a great resource, liceclinicsofamerica.com. We have a parents' corner. We dispel myths. We have all kinds of videos, fun things, important facts.
Lice is fun.
Lice is fun. Lice is fun. Lice are fun.
That's right.
Louses
are
fun.
There you go.
Lice am fun.
Claire, nice to meet you. Go to liceclinicsofamerica.com.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. And we got to talk about Zero Res here real quick.
Well, listen, that's another thing. Your carpets get dirty. Go to Zero Res.
After my kids had lice, we cleaned the carpets. I called Zero.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Zero Res is the place. You can go to zerorez.com, and that's ZEROREZ.com. You can also call them 288-ZERO, 288-9376. They have this patented 3-step cleaning process, unmatched in the industry. They use, I'm not going to go into all of the details of it.
They'll explain it to you if they come to your house. They'll show you how it works.
No shampoos, no chemicals, and so that means it's environmentally friendly, and it doesn't leave your carpets crusty and awful, and it doesn't leave them stinky.
It's powered water.
Yeah.
But again, they can explain that. They can explain how it works.
So right now, Zero Res is doing this offer, $33 per room, minimums apply. Schedule carpet cleaning today. Make sure you tell them that Radio from Hell at X96 sent you. Make sure you tell them that, okay? So get your carpets clean with powered water from Zero Res, 288-0, that's 288-9376.
X96 is the home of the 1-hour nonstop music wingding, and they happen 3 times per day. Listen at 10 a.m. right after Radio from Hell and 1 p.m. with John Smith. Then every afternoon at 4:30 with Todd Newcomb for your Gary, Bill, and Gina on X96.
All right, 9:51.
He may really be done.
Well, him really being done, brought to you by Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. It's here. Enjoy classic German beer, food, and music every Saturday and Sunday, including all the way up through October 21st. Get details at snowbird.com.
So, I was watching that Mr. Rogers documentary.
Did you cry like a baby?
No, but it was good.
You
It was
didn't?
good. But you know what I thought was odd is that, what's her name? Lady
Elaine Fairchild?
No, Lady Eberlin.
Lady Eberlin?
Eberlin.
Mm-hmm.
So she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And she's very good on that show,
Mhm.
on Mr. Rogers.
Mhm.
She has beautiful voice. She's beautiful to look at. She's so empathetic talking to these puppets. She was not in the documentary, other than clips from the show. She was not talked to.
I see.
She
what
was
you're
an
saying.
interview.
No.
So they talked to.
Well, they had the policeman and the and Mr. McFeely and
Are you suspicious of that?
it's weird. She's still alive. I looked it up. Now I didn't do a deep dive to find out why that might have been.
What about Handyman Negri?
Yes.
What about Bob Dog?
No, Bob Dog was not.
No. But they talked to several people and crew members and but she and she was such an integral part of the show.
Wonder why she wasn't interviewed.
I don't know. It says recently, the most recent thing I found about her, she had done some projects with Kevin Smith, which I thought was interesting. But I couldn't, she wasn't interviewed. They talked to producers and and so
Maybe-
backstage people.
Well, maybe the filmmakers weren't willing to pony up the dough for Lady Eberlin.
I just wonder if there was a rift. No, I just wonder if there was some kind of little rift there, or she didn't care to talk about it.
What have you got?
For some reason.
I found so. I wish I'd known we were going here. I could have looked this up better. I found a story, and the headline is "Why wasn't Lady Eberlin in?"
Oh, really? There is.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But I need to read through it. I don't know yet.
Well, give me
so.
give me the opening lines here.
It's one of those things where the question pops up, but it's deep inside an interview, a bigger interview with the
you have to
director.
go through-
So I need to read the whole thing to find the quote. But it says it's addressed in this interview somewhere. I will read it and let you know.
Well, why don't you just send it to me?
Well, because now our listeners want to know.
I know.
Here, I've got it.
Okay.
If you just
See, I
given me a
thought you
second.
could. Well, we did.
Question was, did you get everyone you wanted for the film?
Mm-hmm.
He said the only person who didn't do an interview was Betty Aberlin, which is
Lady Aberlin.
I talked to her many times for many hours on the phone. She just hadn't done an interview in years, and I think she felt deeply insecure about going on camera, and I just couldn't turn her around. So he interviewed her for
Just
it.
didn't want to.
She didn't want to go on.
She just didn't want to go on camera.
There you go. Do you feel better about
No.
that? Why?
Because
Maybe
there's
she's-
still something. There's some reason she didn't.
Maybe
want to
she
do it.
has a goiter.
Nobody has a goiter anymore. No one has a goiter unless they live in a third world country.
Maybe she's self-conscious about something.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking for controversy where he says, I interviewed her, I tried to convince her, she didn't feel comfortable going on camera. She's 75, give her a break.
It was the King Friday interview that they didn't include that bothered me.
What was that one?
Fred Rogers was a right bastard on the set. Very much so.
You know, it was interesting. They said that, Fred Rogers was Daniel Striped Tiger.
Yeah. Well, he was most of them.
Well, but that
personality.
That was mostly.
All right, I see what
that
you're
was
saying.
him.
All right.
That was him. That insecure. Except somebody said, I think toward the last few years of the show, he became more like King Friday. He was
grouchier?
He was kind of imperious, a little bit imperious, because King Friday was kind of a dick.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Carrie does a King Friday impression. I had no idea.
And X the Owl was also Fred Rogers.
But that Daniel Striped Tiger voice is so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And real, it's Fred Rogers,
Mhm.
and yet it's different. It's way different.
And in the movie, he would take Daniel to classrooms and things, and he would pull him out and and he's just doing the puppet right, he's not hiding behind a screen or anything. He's just holding it, and
Kids would relate right to the puppet, not to him at all.
Meow, 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 Rogers, meow, 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 used to beat me, meow, meow.
Yeah, he was fat when he was a kid.
Fred Rogers was a fatty?
He was a little fat kid.
Oh,
He was a little fat kid.
All right, let's do the promo and get out of here.
on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show, we have an X poll.
We need you to call in at 7:45 and tell us.
Have you ever purchased something and then the next day wish you hadn't bought it?
Buyer's remorse is the X poll on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
All right. That good enough? We good?
Aren't we doing a wingding or anything?
Not me.
No, John does a
Oh,
wingding.
okay.
We don't have to wingding.
That's his thing. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Maybe she had a goiter.
Nobody has a goiter anymore.
John Smith is next.
Are you ready? Because a 1 hour nonstop music wingding starts now!